Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Nova Scotia, Canada, and back in the sim for what feels like a very, very long time, to be fair. It's great to have you all in the chat ready to go slightly early ahead of schedule. We initially obviously planned this at 13:30 UTC, but we've brought it forwards a little bit, and we're flying here out of Halifax today, VATSIM Studios, or VATSIM Studios Halifax version 2, over to the new Astralis Studios Waterloo, or region of Waterloo Airport here in MSFS 2020. MPS Gaming, good afternoon, matey. David as well, good to see you. Banshell, welcome. Zato, good to see you, mate. You still flying your big jet, or are you joining us on this sector today? Rab, good afternoon as well. Massive headwind, he says. Oh, that's interesting, actually. We might need to take a little bit of extra fuel then. Lee JC, welcome. Bring your big coats, absolutely. It is -12 here in Halifax. It's super cold. Dust 2, good afternoon. David A, good morning to you, and everyone else in the live chat, wherever you are in the world, it's good to see you. If you are new to the channel, hit like, hit subscribe, and after 2 minutes it'll allow you to join in our live chat. I thought we'd start here, kind of landside, just to go and explore this version 2 airport of Halifax. It's been revamped, we've not really checked it out. And I can't remember what version 1 looks like, but hopefully some of you might remember the differences. Figured we'd have a little look. And I'm hoping while I do this, I'm stalling because the windshield heat's on, and I'm hoping it defrosts the windows of the jet. Because I've been sitting on the ground for about an hour or so, it's accumulated one hell of a lot of frost, so it should be quite good. Flight time around 2 hours 30. Flight level 380 for the cruise today. And all the links for the scenery are in the descriptions down below for the live stream today as well. Look at this. I don't remember there being an internal before. That looks pretty good. Is that the carpet, or is that snow on the carpet? I'm not sure. One would suspect there's snow on the carpet. Ah, it's not immersive enough. They've not modelled the toilets. Right, Jay, good morning as well. I can't remember what this actually looks like, the version 1. But it's not super kind of high price, this. But yeah, there's definitely snow on the carpets there. And what they've not done is modelled much of the kind of landside sections. That's fine with most scenery. Realistically, we very rarely actually see it. So we shall plonk ourselves to the airside sections to have a look, and there's definitely snow inside. I mean, that's not a good start, is it? Crikey. They could do a lot better than that. And that's just texturing, surely. Hey ho. Connected coffee? No Tim Hortons or whatever it is. The Firkin and Flyer pub. Grab yourself a little bevy. A lot of sports going on here as well. Is that boxing or is that UFC? Looks like it might be UFC. But it's actually a very, very small airport, to be fair. So there isn't too much to see. Likewise, again, with region of Waterloo Airport, there's not a massive amount to see because... there we go, yeah, it doesn't really go anywhere. Because it's a tiny airport. Although what they've done is they've actually done the region of it as well, so there are elements around, I think, from what I understand, the city and all that kind of stuff they've focused on doing a little bit of photogrammetry on. So we shall have a look on approach. We should be approaching over the city unless the wind changes, so that'd be quite nice to see. Good afternoon, Rob, as well, welcome, mate. Peter, good afternoon. Yeah, I mean, the snow's an issue inside, isn't it? It's all a bit weird. It's a fairly average looking scenery, to be fair. Apron textures are okay, and we are going to be making use of these pads over here today, the de-icing pads. So we've got the trucks ready to go, warming up all the glycol, and we're using runway 32 today, so it'll be the taxi off all the way down into the mist, the depths of the right hand corner of the airport over there. But yeah, developers can add in difference of texture inside the airport scenery, so it's not really an excuse for them not to kind of solve that and fix it, I don't think. But anyway, that's just my own opinion. let's plop on inside this bit. Ah yes, that's where we were earlier, wasn't it? So we should have Firkin, the pub. Lovely job. I mean, that is it. That's effectively all there is to it. Nice big old cargo section up there. And then we've got Jazz Maintenance over on the right. Just going to fire up GSX. Request boarding. There's a little teaser of our jet. We're in the iFly 737 MAX8 today as well, down here on stand number 23, I believe. And we have got a custom GS. Oh my goodness, look at the... I've never seen that before. Hello Centurio, welcome. That's a lot of ice. I said in the live chat, or in the Discord, in the members lounge earlier, we're going to have to harness our inner Aero Sucre, I think, and just go full send and see what happens with this. So that's MPS welcome. We'll have to see what happens with that. That's going to be rather interesting, isn't it? Be curious to see if there's any on the leading, on the wings and all that kind of stuff. Yes. Oh my goodness. That's a lot of ice. And on the front of the engines. God blimey. So effectively, we've basically left the aeroplane to freeze over the last hour and a bit. Almost replicating as if it's just sat here overnight, accumulating all that frost. Look at all that on the nose cone as well. Jeepers. It's MSFS 2020 because the iFly MAX8 isn't officially kind of compatible with it. I know some people have got it working with 2024, but it's not officially supported, and they've made a very specific request to not try and do that. So as a content creator, I figured it's very important that I actually kind of respect that and try not to fiddle too much. But all intents and purposes, it sounds like the beta is pretty good. Centuria, where have you been called out to? There's the flight deck. And we've got GSX fired up as well with this Flair livery that's included in the iFly manager. Boarding music, we can kind of like turn that down if we want to. And I'm trying to remember what the displays are. Is it like top? Ah, there we go, got it. Look at that, it's all coming back. Teterborough Centuria, nice. So lighting, boarding. Entry lights look good. System unavailable due to IFE off or power non-essential functions have been shed in the flight deck. And we don't need the maintenance. Alrighty. I mean, I do love that with this iFly MAX8, the superb cabin lighting and everything that you get. I thought we were having seated passengers, but it seems like they're not actually physically sitting down, which is rather strange. The only thing I've done differently here is I updated GSX yesterday, but apparently now it is already out of date. So I wonder if that's why, because there's something a little bit broken. We've been trying to keep all the heat in, so all the windows are pretty much down as well. Let's fight our way back up past all these Canadians. David, it is a steep price, isn't it? But you know what? It's superb. How do I get... No beverage, that's the lighting. I'm trying to remember how we get... That's frozen, so it might be getting controlled elsewhere. Is it straight down the middle? That's frozen as well. Trying to remember. I'm sure there was a way for us to do the all of the window blinds. But anyway, while that's all happening, seems we've not got kind of seated GSX punters. We'll turn our attention to the flight decks. It's been a little while, so what I've done is I've kind of gone in. I've had a little look here. Actually, it might be in here, mightn't it? System page, sim menu, doors. Close code closed, forward entry, Left and cargo being controlled by GSX. That looks pretty good. And we've got external power online at the moment. That's all we've got connected, and obviously the chocks as well, which we'll need to get from there. Controlling the EFB for the windows. Refuel ground support, pushback, panel style. Do we need the hood? I don't know if Flair have it or not. We'll enable it, but hey ho. We might not use it. Ice detection probe, why not? We probably need that today. Hydraulic type Vickers or Abex. I have no idea what the difference is there, but still pretty cool. There we go. So cabin sun visors, let's get them all open. D1B28, nose wheel steering. I think that was back to front, wasn't it, from what I remember last time. Minimum was meant to be down here, joystick sensitivity. So let's set that and see what it does. And it's got RAS installed as well, which is pretty cool. So we should hear, like VRAS, that really good bit of kit that we've got for off Contrail, we should get all of our runway awareness call-outs, so approaching runway 32 and all that kind of stuff, as we've got it toggled on and off there, regardless of what it might be. And you can set that up as you wish, which is very nice. I think we're pretty much there. Just have a quick look at this. Roll mode's wings level, 15 bank limiter. Alrighty. I need to refuel the jet. I think... Is it going to allow me to refuel using GSX? See, I can't remember how this specifically worked. I knew there was something clunky or something different about it. We'll click request refueling and we'll see what happens. Because we need, let's have a quick look here on my fuel loads. What have we got? Block fuel 7996. Well, we've got 649 in the centre tank. So we've got 11, almost, well, 10.3 tons of fuel. Probably don't need that much, so it probably takes some out. I can't remember how it does it. We'll wait to see what happens when the old fuel truck turns up. It's been a long time since we've been in MSFS 2020. It feels like it's been a long time anyway. Are we going to have seated passengers? No, GSX, you've let us down. Keep seatbelt signs off for refueling. Commentator, good afternoon. And LJC, how you doing, matey? Landing altitude 460, so let's get that set. 450 is the closest figure. Where's the old refueler? Yeah, but that's not automatically feeding from Simbrief, is it? That's the thing. There we go. Block fuel from Simbrief. Two minutes 31 seconds. Refueling left and right main tanks. There we go. Good. So GSX integration's looking pretty good here. I don't remember it doing that before, unless we didn't get our head around it last time. Dust2 said he tried to use GSX at Jersey earlier and it had an absolute wobble, and during pushback spat him all over the apron, reminding him of toolbar pushback. Ooh. Hopefully it's not that broken. Right, we'll leave that to kind of do its thing, and then we'll have a look at this and review our flight for today then. So, we won't do the perfect page just yet. I just want to show you guys the routing. And it is literally that, just quite a simple 4 sectors with the Quebec 806 airway in the middle. But yeah, effectively 4 main waypoints, not sectors, throughout the journey. If I bring you guys the charts, we're parked up here, stand 2-3, pushed up face south, facing the de-icing pad. So effectively we're going to park into one of these 4 de-icer pads here. It's probably going to be bay 1 or bay 2, but it depends if they're busy or not. And we'll just see what happens there. Once we've done the de-icing, we'll then taxi out onto Gulf, and we'll work, where have we got? So, no we won't actually. Yeah, onto Gulf, and then we'll go back onto the main apron area to head down Delta to cross 05, then onto Kilo. So it's going to kind of look a little bit like this. Refuel. Like that. All the way down to the threshold for runway 32. And then we've got the Halifax 4 departure, which like a lot of US and Canadian based departures at big airports like Chicago and all that kind of stuff, it's effectively maintain runway heading, and we're going to fly and climb to 5,000 feet or as assigned. We don't, I think, have any ATC online. We don't, so I'm going to just switch to the CTAF frequency of 118.4, because now VAT Canada on VATSIM are using CTAF like the US, so you've got to find the right tower frequency now. So 18.4, and we'll do all of our kind of comms and announcements via that. Runway 32, climb heading 323 degrees or assigned for vectors. After departure, you can see we've got the arrows there. We're pretty much going to maintain runway heading for a little bit, and then not long after departure, we've got a slight left turn towards Kelno. We'll go direct Kelno, and then we'll go work across northeast Canada there, like so. Should be quite a nice little flight, and it's been a very, very long time since we flew around Canada. There are no arrivals or stars into Kitchener, region of Waterloo Airport, and 08's only got an RNAV approach, so we'll configure for that. I can't fully, off the top of my head, remember how to do RNAVs in a 737 MAX8, so we might end up hand flying it on approach. I can't fully remember. It's been a long time anyway, and I'm obviously doing a lot less streaming these days, so I feel like my brain's going to be playing catch up again quite a lot. But that's the approach. It will kind of look like that, 3.1 degree glide path angle to head into 08. And that is what the region of Waterloo Airport is going to look like when we get there. 08, vacate Foxtrot, if not full length onto Alpha, and then we'll work back on ourselves into the little apron there. It's a very small airport created by Astralis Studios, which my autocorrect, every time I type it on my phone, my autocorrect constantly changes to Australia. But I suppose it's not their fault. So there's the charts, that's the brief. We're tracking on New Skies again, as always, our virtual airline client as well, so that's where our block fuel and everything is, 7096. And I'm hoping that means we're going to have the right fuel, given in mind the headwind today. Refueling's complete as well, there we go, we're using kilos today, not pounds. Eight tons. Oh god, I really hope that that's set up correctly. So 5,323, we want our performance data now as well. So with that complete, we can head back onto the menu. Airport maps a thing in this as well, from memory. It's very cool, and we can snap across to Kitchener. It's a very cool feature, and we can obviously have our charts there as well. Performance and payload. Not going to want to take that just yet, is it? So, let's add that in. Click of a switch. Finres plus alternates. 1.9. Cost index 15. 180. Cruise winds. 277 at 110. Jesus, that's one heck of a headwind, isn't it? Ian, good evening, matey. Hope you're well. -6 for the ice deviation. We'll execute that. Transition altitude stays 18,000. Well, yeah, we need our takeoff performance really. CY HZ. Runway 32. Condition. I mean, it's dry, so I'll put dry. Anti-ice config off, although part of me thinks we should have it on really. Air conditioning on. Lap config 5. See what it gives us with the winds. 290 at 19, gusting 27. Jeepers. -12. And the QNH, it's altimeter 3009. Inches of mercury. Good. What's our gross weight? 70.1. I feel like this is a bit clunky. .79. Center of gravity is 19.9. How much is that going to give us? Oh, I'm going to go on to SimBrief here. Get the performance calculations off that, I think. Unless it doesn't have it. I think I remember one of these didn't work. Might have been the max. Let's find out. 3.2 dry, -12 flat settings, optimum, improved climb disable, let's get rid of that. And it's telling us takeoff 1, flap 4, assumed 44. That's giving us a cell temp of 32. It's a little bit different there. Limited by climb gradient. That's using most of the runway. I'm just going to calculate with flex. Well, not flex, sorry, toga. We'll go with that. Just to be on the safe side. So, departures, Halifax 4, runway 32. Execute. We'll leave that on 1500 because I can't. In fact, let's do 1000 above ground level. Why not? Go back, previous page. $28K and the cell temp 54 on the SimBrief plan. Ooh. Invalid. What about if I put in cell temp of 37? Mirror that. Invalid. Oops. Okay, but that one works. And then we'll switch to climb profile 2 to smooth it out. So there's our V speeds. 152. Put the old flight directors on. Why is pre-flight green, not green? Right, let's have a quick look. That looks good. That's set. That's set. Vectors to Kelno. Wilfredo in Brooklyn, welcome mates. Climb to 380. We'll grab the descent winds while we're here. It's a lot more manual than the PMDG 737 series, isn't it, Andrew? It's just a slightly different way of doing it than what they've set up as well. So you've kind of got to get your head around a lot of different things. What I also want to do is just set a fix ring around CYKF. What are we doing? 323. Oops. 323 at, let's do 10 miles, just so I can see a 10-mile range ring. Oh, CYHZ, isn't it? Whoops. Three, 2, 3 at 10. That's better. So the green line we'll just need to ignore, but we've got that little range ring there, which is going to be quite helpful for us working out 10 miles. Going to help. Whitson, what do you mean? What's the fix for it, matey? Because I'm not sure if there is a... I'm not aware of a problem with it, at least, anyway. Route's done. Departure arrivals is complete. We've already added all that in. Takeoff page is complete, but we've not got pre-flight green. Go back on. Okay, well I think that's just my my head being a bit weird with it. So we shall leave it as that. That worries me. Okay, that's better. Which is going to change this. All right. I think that's as good as we're going to get. If I've missed something, then whoopsie, that's on me. Right, aft pumps. Start the APU. How are we doing up the top here on the overhead panel? That's all good. I'm going to turn the ProPeats on now. De-icing will carry on but shortly. Seatbelt signs can go on. Pressure panel's set. That's all good. That's all set. GSX. Prepare for pushback and departure. And we're not going to do de-icing here because we're going to taxi to the de-icing stand and then see what GSX gives us as an option. So we shall see what happens in a mo. That's all good. That's set. Yes, Nighthawk. MSFS 2020, matey. This isn't compatible with 2024, so that's why we're in 2020. 2000. That's all neutral, neutral.
Departure checks completed. Bypass pin inserted.
What have we missed? Grab the Woodbury wings while we wait here, and then while that's loading, just get anti-collision lights on. system page. Is it all closing? Good, they're closed. Doors closed. External power needs to go, so that'd be ground support, electric disconnect. Just going to check the other things. Park brake sets. Get rid of the chocks. Doors closed. Let's pop that off for now as well. So we've got pushback, nose right, tail left. It's going to be nose left, tail right, I think, isn't it, to go pushback facing south.
Release parking brakes, please.
Oh, Centuria, you're going to test me there, mate. Single engine taxi to the
Release parking brakes, please.
to the de-icer pads. I mean, that's a lot of ice, isn't it? What was I going to do? Chocks, everything's removed. I'm going to quickly pop out here.
Parking brakes, please.
Not yet.
Release parking brakes, please.
Let's get that set to take off.
Release parking brakes, please.
Rightio, what have we got? So altimeter 3009er. I can't remember how to do single engine taxi on the 737. I think it's engine 1, isn't it?
Release parking brakes, please.
Make sure I've got my charts. What are we? Stanfield.
Release parking brakes, please.
Oh, we've got centre online. Stand by. 1322.
Release parking brakes, please.
We're going to be delayed now. Moncton.
Release parking brakes, please.
Moncton Centre, good morning. Flair 403 at Halifax, stand 23, I believe. A 737 MAX8 with... We've got information Delta on board.
Release parking brakes,
Altimeter
please.
3009, a request clearance to Kitchener, please. Rain's going slow.
Moncton Centre, hello. Cleared to Kitchener. Halifax for
Release parking brakes,
departure.
please.
Flat plan route, depart runway 32, squawk 3151.
Cleared
Release parking brakes, please.
Kitchener, Halifax 4 departure, runway heading, squawk 3151, Flair 403.
403, read back correct, push start at your discretion,
Release
report
parking
ready for
brakes,
taxi.
please.
Okay. 3151.
Release parking brakes, please.
3151. Okay, park brakes off.
Commencing push. All engines
Lovely
clear.
jubbly.
Start at will.
Let's do that. Legs. I hope I've got this sorted. This is where I find out now that I'm pushing into somebody. But no, we're all good.
Moncton Centre, very good morning. Alaska 2472.
Lovely.
12 at Halifax. With
Right,
information Delta on
AP
board,
bleeds,
iFly
packs are off,
system,
that's all looking good.
Alaska
We
2472,
want...
Moncton Centre, hello. Cleared to Kitchener. Halifax for
Centre tanks have
departure.
got a wee bit of
Flat
fuel
plan
in them,
route,
might as well
depart
start
runway
them.
32, squawk
Okay.
3137.
Engine on ground. Is there a cross bleed in this?
Cleared to Kitchener by the Halifax for departure, and then runway heading, runway 32, so 3137 for Alaska
There's so much ice.
2472, read back correct, push and start your discretion. Report ready for taxi. Information Delta current.
Okay, good. That's a good sign. We're starting to face the right way.
Delta on board request clearance to Waterloo.
225, Moncton Centre, hello. Cleared Waterloo, Kitchener, Halifax for departure. Flight plan route, depart runway 32, squawk 3131.
For
How'd you do cross
runway
bleeds?
32, squawk 3131. For
Yes, I suppose single engine taxi in this is literally just going to be
Push and start at your discretion. Report ready for taxi. Information Delta current.
left pack auto. That can run with that. That'll do, won't it? There's a lot of static from whoever that is.
The station calling unreadable, I'm afraid.
Please set parking brakes.
Virgin to 0 Victor, are we
I love the
in your
sounds.
assist or no?
Little whine.
Virgin 20 Victor, Moncton Centre, hello. You'll leave my airspace in 10 minutes, so maybe you could continue on advisory on 122 decimal.
Bounce the wing.
Continue on advisory, Virgin to 0 Victor, thank you, bye.
Jeepers.
Good day, sir.
That's pretty bad.
Moncton, hello, Bond, 1 Papa's 8,000 feet inbound, Dalcob.
1 Papa, Moncton Centre, hello. Squawk 3174.
3174, Bond 1 Papa.
7.
Singapore 327 Super, what are you doing here?
Tow truck disconnected.
Singapore
Bypass pin
327,
removed.
thank you, you are identified.
Left is clear. Right is clear.
Bond 1 Papa, you are identified.
Bond 1 Papa.
Moncton, g'day, Steve Burnett, Kilo with you, flight level 350, inbound IXO.
288 Kilo Heavy, Moncton Centre, roger.
Where's my trim? No, it's somewhere.
Moncton Center,
It's
hello,
somewhere different.
Red 1, with information Delta, looking for iFly clearance to Yachina, please.
Yeah, don't forget, folks. There is Moncton. Sorry, there is yeah,
Good
West
day,
Coast
cleared
Madness
to
at
Kitchener.
1800
Halifax for
UTC.
Flight plan route, depart runway 32, squawk 3160.
Cleared to Yachina via the Halifax 4, runway 32,
left
then
lead on.
flight plan route, squawking 3160, Raz Grid 1.
Rescues 1 correct, start at your discretion, report ready for taxi, information Delta current.
Oh Jesus, I thought
2, 3 or 4 for the base.
Oceanic
I'll ask for bay 2.
I'm not good about it.
Singapore 327, roger. I can send you the link with the website with instructions on how to do it.
Nick, because I can't remember how to do it precisely, because it's been a very, very, very long
This is
time.
my first time I'm going to be doing
If I'm honest.
this in case that someone's online.
Yep, no problem.
Flair 403, request taxi to de-icing pads, please, Halifax.
Flair 403, taxi, the iPad.
Thanks, we'll go bay 2, Flair 403.
Understood.
Moncton Centre, Super Concord 2 Alpha, heavy with you, inbound. Sierra Mike 5, Sierra November.
Have the old
6,
breaker roonies.
5, Sierra November 5230 West.
Super Concord 2 Alpha, Moncton Centre, roger.
Follow me's on the way, because it says on the charts that you must have de-icer. Follow me into the de-icer zone, so we shall try and replicate that, although I'm just tickling a force.
What
Single engine.
oceanic sector would be N south for Singapore 327 Super?
Stand by.
Gonna get my charts ready and the right page here as well. Bay 1's on the corner, Bay 2 is going to be that one here. There's Bay 1. Follow me's arrived on the right. There it is. Let's go. Put the taxi light off because we're going to be parking momentarily anyway. Flaps 5 and green.
Good evening, Moncton Centre, JetBlue 1620 with the flight level 35.
Need a bit of momentum because we're left
JetBlue
engine
1620,
for a right turn, so we
roger.
need a little bit of momentum to keep carrying us over. The follow me car should start to move. He says, there we go.
327 Super would be the, what would that be, the gas up, Shanghai, or the oceanic or North Atlantic, or sector?
So initially it'll be the Gander sector. Just let me know if you need any more help. I could send you the oceanic clearance via text if that's easier for you.
God knows where that's sending us.
Center, hello, Scandinavian 909, flight level 390.
Channel style.
Canadian 909, Moncton Centre, hello, Squawk 3130.
Oh yes, so that says max, but it should say minimum. FLE 403 Bay 2. That follow me car's done some rogue nonsense there that's really got me screwed.
Canadian 909, identified.
Taxi forwards. I forgot how overly sensitive this nose wheel steering was. Slow down. Stop. Park brake set. Packs off.
Center Alaska 2472 requesting taxi to De-icing Bay 4, please.
Alaska 272, taxi de-ice Bay 4, and caution the other aircraft on the de-icing bay.
Hey, same other aircraft, Alaska 2472.
What's happening? Tense, isn't it? It's like, what's going on? Is it working? Just gonna have a quick check of the GSX menu because it might be saying, oh, there we go, request de-ice. There we go. I just needed to toggle it. The ice is incoming, literally. Christ. Screw it. Lovely job. Not as synchronised as British Airways at Terminal 5 at Jedi. It sure is. I'm going to go for 100% concentration. Pack's already off, David. I've only got left pack on anyway. Although, what do we got here? Yeah, packs are off. Juicy. Gimme, gimme, gimme. Imagine if this doesn't actually signal the ice to disappear. Redacted, nice. Where's the runway? There it is. So we kind of want it, the camera ready for like runway heading departure at a slight angle like this, he says. Did a good job. Let's get a passenger view, shall we? Looking good. It's been a very long time since we did anything like this. Not really getting rid of the ice though, that's a bit of a worry. So what I might do is, just for taxi, whack the anti-ice systems on as well, because that looks like they might be finishing. Yeah. Oh, brilliant, thanks, yeah. Okay, let's get engine 2 on. While we're here. Just one less thing to worry about while we taxi out. Zoom zoom. In my head I'm like, where's the takeoff config test button? But this isn't an Airbus. Don't need speed brake armed in it either, because that's also Airbus. Oh, my brain's really frazzled with all this. Exit now. Alrighty. Moncton Flair 403 is requesting taxi to runway 32 from Bay 2.
Flair 403, roger, taxi, district, hold position just now.
Opposition, 403. Put the wing light on. So you look out and you see that still, you're like, oh my god. Okay, so that's engine.
Airspace is
2 looking good. I forgot those switches to continuous.
31590 Moncton Centre, hello. Proceed direct MBAX, Echo Mike Bravo Alpha X-ray.
Ah, chuffing neck. Every time I've not flown a Boeing for a while. Who else does that?
De-icing Bay 1.
35 Roger, proceed de-icing Bay 1.
De-icing Bay 1 for Flair to tracking.
Just got to reset all of that now.
Flair 403, taxi Delta Kilo, cross runway 23, hold short runway 32, and just give way to the 737 taxiing behind you.
Give way to the 737 behind, then taxi Delta Kilo, cross runway 23, hold short 32, flares 403. Good, that's gone. That's all good.
And
that's
Raspberries 1 is ready for
fix
taxi.
that, silly us. Gem 1. Just recycle that yaw damper.
Alpha, hold short Delta.
Alpha hold short Delta, Raspberries 1.
Here, Canada 855.
He's behind.
Radar check.
Take Canada 855 Moncton Centre, read you 555.
Busy. Bit of the de-icer pad in progress.
Take Canada 855, squawk 3167.
Yeah, mega value for money this.
167, Air Canada 855. Air Canada 855, just to be just confirmed.
I'm almost empty on the centre tanks as well.
Take Canada 855, correct. Identified. Proceed direct Yankee Bravo Charlie.
So as a reminder, after departure we're going to fly runway heading to 5000. We've got Moncton Centre in line, which is awesome, so good morning to them.
Direct Yankee Bravo Charlie.
And we'll be guided by their air traffic control.
Singapore 7 Super, anything shorter or shall we stay here?
Singapore 327.
Nice doing a bit of de-icing for once as well, we don't often do that.
37 Zulu.
That's long.
Yeah, if you need to leave, just let me know, and that's no problem.
I don't want to be unfriendly, so my request was to switch to Unicom, but I don't want to be that unfriendly.
Don't think that guy understands
yeah, you
how
can
it
go to Unicom
works.
if you prefer, it's no problem. Would you like to do that?
Yes, good question. Centurio's asked in the live chat there. Does anyone else know if de-icing from GSX actually removes the icing on the wings in the Phoenix series aeroplanes?
Bye-bye, thank you.
Or conversely in the FS Labs, because that's got next level integration with GSX, isn't it? That's pretty impressive. But that's why I put the anti-ice on the wing, anti-ice and stuff.
2, 3.
D-Russ. Cleared to cross this one, but we shall just have a quick cursory check anyway.
Then Osprey, correction at Oscar 2+72 is ready for taxi.
Oscar 2+72, roger, hold position, brake, raise the grid 1, taxi Kilo.
Running a little bit behind schedule.
Hold short, runway 32.
A bit of work from the engines.
Cross 23 and hold short of 32, Raspberries 1.
So we're going to, there's a procedure isn't there for icy conditions in the 737s, and I suspect it will be the same in this as well. in the sense that we probably...
So will you
there's
request
the tower.
lower altitude?
We probably need to run the engines up for is it 30 seconds first at 50% M1 before we kind of go to
Flight
Toga.
level 340, Canada 855, thank you.
That's all good.
Alaska 2472, taxi Delta Kilo, cross runway 23, hold short runway 32.
Delta Kilo, cross runway 23, hold short 32 for us for Alaska 2472.
No real life flying,
Flair
so
403,
climb.
contact
I
me
just can't
airborne,
justify
wind 31019,
the
gust
price.
27, runway 32, clear takeoff.
Apologies, you broke at the start there. Was that for Flair 403?
Yep, Flair 403, contact me airborne, wind 31019, gust 27, runway 32, clear takeoff.
Wilco, we'll contact airborne and runway 32, clear for takeoff, Flair 403. Halifax 4, runway heading 323, heading select.
Flair 225, roger, taxi Delta Kilo.
Quick
cross
little
runway
recall
23,
check.
hold short runway 32.
All the bleeds are set. Max and bleeds.
Taxi Delta Kilo,
That's
cross
off.
runway 23, hold short 324, flight 5.
Get rid of that. And we've got our engine displays here for us instead. We could have it on the other side, but that's very much user preference. Yeah, Whitson, that's okay. We can keep that on. When the AQ comes on, we'll use dual bleed.
for about 5 minutes.
Strobes.
Roger, report back.
Put one back for JetBlue 16.
Landing lights.
Raspberry 1,
And we'll just
runway 32.
Line up runway 32, right,
use
grid 1.
the full length here.
Raspberry 1, due to your performance, do you have a higher requested initial altitude?
What are you in, Zato? Because you're like an Asobo
3, 2.
blob.
No,
Hey.
Initial 200 if possible.
Weird. There's the
Raspberry
wind
1,
sock.
roger,
That
after
looks
departure,
quite
flight
ominous.
runway heading and climb flight level 20.
What have we got? Traffic.
Roger, after departure, climb flight level
Weather.
200, Raspberry 1.
TCAS. Transponder. Set. Radio set. Departure's briefed. Trim is set. Just gonna hold her on the brakes. And request 50%. I'm hoping that's going to get rid of a bit of nonsense on the engines, but we're probably not. Hold her on the brakes still. That's a hell of a lot of ice still, isn't it, folks? But hey, what's the worst that could happen? You know, full send Aero Sucre style. Alright, let's rock and roll. Master caution, fuel. Sort that out first, because we haven't committed to takeoff yet. We've got a few seconds. Brakes off, Toga. Look at that, they've got the spool up so bang on. 80 knots already. Look at this. Full send. Rotates. V2. Honestly, this flies so well. Positive rate gear up. Do. Moncton Centre, Flair 403's airborne through 2500.
Flair 403, thank you, identified. Turn left, direct Big 2 on course. Climb flight level 380.
Turn left, direct vid 2 on course and climb 380, Flair 403. do. LNAV, VNAV. Let's get flaps up. Caesar, welcome. Just hand fly it for a moment. We'll keep it coming up. Because we've still got a little bit of work to do. 380. Just hand flies so well. 380. Bit of a crosswind already. But that's okay. Runway turn off lights. Ignition modes come off. Wing lights can come off. Put that on automatic. Okay. CMD-A engage. Flaps up, no lights. We'll break off.
Contact the airborne with 31019 gust 27.
Flaps, yeah, that's all good. That's all set.
Clear for takeoff 32, Raspberry 1.
Climbing in.
2472, line up runway 32.
M1 VNAV speeds. Jack, welcome, mate. What? How is that?
590, information Delta current. Expect Astralis Studios approach runway 32.
How is that still like that? How you doing, Jack? Hope you're well. How's the business venture coming along? Have you got it set up yet? Where's my favourite wing view? Yes, kind of ruined by the icing though. But look at that scenery. Really cool. That's a bit better, isn't it? Because at least then we
Raspberry 1 airborne 6,500.
we don't look crazy.
Raspberry 1, thank you. Continue runway heading. Climb flight level 200.
Roger, continue runway heading for climbing flight level 200.
Did I miss it? What's Santo
Raspberry
in?
1.
And you are identified, thank you.
Erasmus, he's going to be like an F-14, isn't he? Lovely scenery. Really good. How are we getting on? Lots of trimming. Through 10. See if the signs can come off properly. Big do.
Raspberry 1, climb flight level 400.
Flight level 400, Raspberry 1.
It's been a while since we flew this, but I think I remember it being superb last time. Let's transfer that across. Forgot to do the fuel flow reset rate, didn't I? 7.2 tons. Vigdu. Just going to have a quick check of the flight plan, see how much fuel we should have at that point in time.
909, Montreal offline, monitor advisory, good day.
5.7 tons.
Alaska 2472, contact the airborne, wind 31019 gust 27.
Good, you're putting the effort in though, Jack, that's the main thing.
Stable, sleep takeoff runway 32, and let's get you for 52. 225, line up and wait runway 32.
Line up and wait 32 for Flair.
Raspberry 1, proceed direct to Kelno on full.
Nova Scotia's
Direct
proper.
Kelno, Raspberry 1.
Big thank you to our air traffic controller for today as well. I didn't expect to have ATC on this time in the morning for the Canadians, but he's online anyway, giving us some great ATC. And actually, we've got Boston Centre online. We'll speak to them for a very short period of time because on the nose, we've got this kind of bay area here. The other side of that water over there is St. John's in New Brunswick. And then as we go past that, we go over a town called Calais, which is on the French and US border, and we'll cross into Maine for a very short period of time.
2172, thank you, identified. Turn left, direct Vigdu on course. Climb flight level 380.
No standards. So we're going to bust through 180. So we're looking for Lanta while we chat and climb away. What have we got? Boston. I get the feeling that this person may have slept.
JetBlue 1620 was
Because he's flying to Boston,
JetBlue
but
1620.
Boston's all the way down here. So he's done something wrong with his flight plan. Out of Berlin. Hey ho. Right, badges up in front. In the WestJet 737-600, looking good. God, that looks so dinky. I've not flown that a very long time. That's superb amounts of fun. Osprey 5908's airborne as well. In the Osprey Holidays 737-800, looking awesome. Nice location, Halifax. Flair 404, Peter's airborne as well. Then we've got ourselves just crossing Windsor. Zato's in his F14. Ah, there we go. That's why I've not got him in model matching. Look at that. That's bold, flying that on VATSIM. Fair play.
airborne,
Nighthawk's airborne in the A320, although he's used the southern runway, interestingly enough. ASA 2472. How do I turn that off? My active flight. I don't want 3D. And then we've got Flair 225. Mathis. Awesome. That's our flight along for today. Vigdu is literally where near Calais. There's Calais.
British 1590, right, MAX cleared Arnhem Zulu approach runway 3.
A little bit of a shortcut for us, which is nice. Helps buy us a bit of time back as well, doesn't it? Yeah, that's the one, Sato. If you do anything that's kind of military ops, then that it requires you to be on VATSIM. It requires you to be part of a special organisation, like virtual RAF, something like that. But if you're doing simply a ferry flight, as Sato is doing today, then you haven't got anything to worry about.
Flight 225, thanks identified. Turn left, direct Vigdu on course.
But I wouldn't recommend it to everybody, as in, you know, I wouldn't recommend loads of you going, you know what, let's all dive in at an F-14. Better not to risk it, unless you're very confident in what you're doing. Jack says he feels like it's a bit of an effort chasing his tail half the time, but there we are anyway. And he's asking how we all are instead. I'm very well. I'm very tired. I feel like nights is starting to really do a thing on my body. Wrecked me for a few days after that, so still recovering. Went for a nice little meal yesterday, Valentine's night. That was quite nice. And then this morning, no rest for the wicked. Been up really early. Driven out down to Henley upon Thames, which is rather nice. We did like a pack walk, so we joined like a dog walking group to walk through the town, so that the dog gets used to kind of busyness, if that makes sense. But that was quite good. I'm not sure, Sue and Climb. Maybe a blend of all three. Because weirdly enough, I selected the de-icer pad. I thought we'd get rid of it. So next is going to be Boston Centre 1347.
Jack donated £300.
Jesus!
Something to help with the tiredness.
Jack, that's mega generous, matey. Christ almighty, thank you very much. Just dropped 300 moolah in the chat. That's yeah, that's incredibly generous of you, matey. I don't know what to say. Thank you very much. That's superb. Appreciate that. He blindsides me with stuff like this every now and again. And then leaves me speechless for about 10 minutes while I'm trying to work out what to say. Yeah, that's incredibly appreciated. Thank you very much. Oh, that's the wrong keybinds. That's the one. See? Now I'm all over the place. It's so generous. There's a bit of a side note. That has helped me remember actually though, because we've regenerated the Tobii Eye Tracker affiliate code, because apparently it's not been working for a little while. For 2 years in fact. So they fixed that, working with Tobii, their Tobii sort of content creator media team to get that tracking link fixed. Tobii.gg/BritishAvGeek, and there's going to be a competition, like a sweepstake, a discounted period in around March-April time, when Tobii Eye Tracker is hopefully going to be working with MSFS 2024 natively. So with that in mind, we're going to be running a sponsored video of that nearer the time, showing off the features in MSFS 2024, hopefully, touch wood, if they can get me the bit of software that I need in time for it to work. And then they've generously offered us to run a giveaway, which means that we will be able to give away a Tobii Eye Tracker 5 to somebody during that promo period. So that, super exciting. Don't know the full details yet, but there is going to be that whopper of a giveaway coming soon, courtesy of Tobii. Jack, there is a. You know what? As long as you enjoy the content, that is all that matters. I know my content has been a lot less lately in volume, rather than sort of 2 a week, 3 a week. The dog is starting to get a little bit better, but yeah, Indy still is kind of a bit crazy all the time. Certainly around lunchtime or 1 o'clock, which is frustratingly the time I always stream. Her lunchtime is at 1 o'clock, and it just generally means that she won't settle then for a couple of hours, and then if she does settle, she settles for about 30 minutes, and then she's up kind of throwing a toy at me, or wanting to go out and be chased around the garden with a toy in her mouth, and that kind of thing. So I'm getting her used to me being upstairs and her being downstairs. That's going well, but the actual kind of time that she'll settle is still very quite short of where I want it to be, to get that consistency back in the channel. But yeah, I appreciate you guys have all been bearing with me for a very long time with it. Especially all of you guys that are bronze, silver, gold frequent flyers. Really appreciate all the support you've given us and your patience as well, getting it all sorted out. She is super cute, Jack. Yeah, she is. She did really well on the kind of guided pack walk that we did earlier on. There was 6 other dogs there, plus this dog trainer. And we went into a coffee shop with them all and all that kind of stuff, and she did really well, settled very nicely. She's got such a great temperament. As vocal as she is, she likes to bark at dogs, but from a playful point of view, and all that kind of thing. But that's just their breed, I suppose, as well. They're a talkative breed regardless. And she's more vocal than our last boy, and more vocal than her brother as well, for what it's worth. Centuri says, I know you said you probably won't make it out to Flight Sim Expo, but if you do, I'll have to take you up flying. I know. It's so expensive though. I did look at it. I did look at going out for Expo, but it's a crazy amount of money. It's more the hotels than anything else. When is it? I actually looked at going to FS Weekend, which is only in a couple of weeks. It's only a couple of weeks away now. And it was almost for one trip to what's it called, Lelystad in the Netherlands, and it's only like 20-30 minutes away from Amsterdam, but it was almost like £1,000 for the weekend to go, with hotels, flights, that kind of, all of that factored in, plus a little bit of food budgeting. It was going to be about £1,000. I thought, jeepers, I I'd rather spend that on a staycation or something instead, with the dog and the missus, or a holiday, or that sort of thing. Put it in stocks and shares, build that money into something else. Yeah, Flight Sim Expo's in Providence this year, the US one. Rab, is he? He's still doing that thing, the pretend report thing, reference number nonsense that I spoke to you about. They mentioned it last week again. Said that now we're going to have to go to every single hotel and advise them that he's not authorised and he hasn't got a reference number that's valid.
Flight 225, flight level 320.
Pretty naughty.
Runway 220 for shaded spot.
Yeah, it was going to be like £1,000 for the trip to Rhode Island as well. Roll, no. Yeah, no, it's definitely not. 100% no, that's not the case. Otherwise we wouldn't have people tasked to visit every hotel now to try and make a point. Naughty chap. Christian says the travel works who uses Hilton points and American Airlines miles for hotels and flights. Look at you. Yeah, that's pretty good. I've still got, I think it's American Airlines, they still owe me a credit from Flight Sim Expo last year. They didn't actually give me a refund. They gave me flight credit or voucher or something so that I could use that amount to book a flight in the future, which is natural. I'm not going to do because I don't I don't take domestic flights in the States. But yeah, that was the terms and conditions, I suppose, and I didn't maybe spot that. But yeah, the flight credits will be gone now. So basically, I've given American Airlines like a couple of £100 for the pleasure of nothing. What have I missed over the last few weeks? I feel like very out of the loop with Flight Sim again, as I think I said that before as well last time. Astralis Studios, that's new. We're flying into that today. I don't know if it looks that great, to be honest, but then Halifax version 2 doesn't look that great either, in fairness. The region of Waterloo Airport that we're flying to is actually valid with MSFS 2024 and 2020 for what it's worth. Still got Vigdu coming up. Where is it? Contrail, let's have a quick look. So yeah, so Waterloo is £13.16 excluding VAT, so about £15, which I think for something quite unique and in a nice location is not that bad. Fly Tampa as well, they're 25% off at the moment if you don't have any Fly Tampa sceneries, and they're all available via Contrail as well now. They've launched Amsterdam and Copenhagen via there, which is really good to see, because up to now it's been only a few items that are on Contrail from them, but now they're kind of expanding that, and that's really good. And oh yes, this is important as well actually. So, for those of you who might remember a little while ago, all the nonsense that was going on around, what were they called? BM World, the scenery developers, BM World AMSIM, although it's more BM World, even though they've paired up, teamed up. There was a whole load of hoo-ha about them uploading competitor add-ons onto kind of pirate marketplaces and things like that, which is a pretty scummy thing for a developer to do. They've actually now rebranded in the marketplace, so they are the same people, but it is worth pointing out to all of you that they have now renamed themselves Glide Slope Pro. So if you are refusing to buy anything from them and wish to continue doing that, then don't be tricked by their rebrand. So BM World and AMSIM are now rebranding, and they're now called Glide Slope Pro, probably because of all of the negative press that they've had, and actually the community have voted with their feet, I think, somewhat, so they've had to rebrand because they don't want to go away, seemingly.
Pushback Concord 4, nothing further. Radar 7 terminates 40,000.
Where's that Concorde? I'm trying to find the Concorde on Volanta. Speedbird Concorde 4. Oh yeah, there he is. Oh, he's literally oceanic. He's off JFK to Heathrow at the moment. A380 up ahead on the nose as well, crossing north. He's actually over waypoint Cammy at the moment, heading towards JFK at 36,000 feet. Little Emirates A380 800 from Dubai. Nice to see they're still being used. They're making some progress with that.
Just confirm level at flight level 400 on the standard pressure setting.
Oh, sorry, my bad. We're not in a standard pressure setting.
Hey, look at that, the ice is finally gone. We're so high, thankfully that's all gone away now. Hopefully it doesn't come back through the descent. Yeah, Zato, it's in our Discord server as well. There's a link in the MSFS add-ons chat. Ashley actually did the work on it. It's pretty clever. Yeah, you can see on the URL there that actually BM World, AMSIM, Seal, Montreal is actually, when you click it, it then becomes Glide Slope Pro. What's that, this engine? Hey, look at that. That's going to be Zato, isn't it? Yeah, in his F6, F14. Although we've got him in the big old Asobo blob there. Not officially, Tony, no. It is worth buying, yes, absolutely, though the iFly team is still working on the required level of compatibility that they're happy with to bring it into MSFS 2024. But it is utterly superb. So you can change all the mood lighting and all that kind of thing on board, which is very nice. Like that's changing in front of our eyes. Custom cabins based on the liveries that you choose as well. To go a little walk down, seems you're not quite familiar, we'll go on a walk through, although that's what you're asking for now. If there is a feature you want to see and you haven't checked out the 737 MAX8 from iFly, then do let me know. We'll try and do it, have a little look throughout the flight today. It is worth pointing out they've even done little things like tray tables. What else is there? I feel like there's some other bits as well. You can open and close the blinds, which is quite nice. And overhead lockers are animated as well. I think it's that there to close it. Price, I can't remember. Somebody put it in the live chat earlier. It's around $70 or $80, I think, from the top of my head. But I'm sure somebody will confirm that imminently. Even the doors for the toilets are animated as well. So we can pop in. Here's the rear galley area. Looking pretty swish.
And Moncton Bond 1 pass, I just confirm what to stay with you.
Look at that. Lovely. Maybe changing facilities.
Bond 1 pass for my apologies.
Don't forget to close the lids.
Now on 122.8, the Septile altimeter 2998. Good day.
122.8.
There's a little flush noise there. Quite quiet sounding, but it is there. See if you listen again. Not that audible, to be fair. And yeah, you can arm and disarm the doors. Things like that. You can do that. I didn't actually do that, look. Slides engage. You can see the gust lock engage down there. I actually forgot to do that. Which is crazy because, you know, in an aircraft as new as this, they're still using like 1960s door arming techniques, which is basically the crew members plonking the slide gust lock into position, which is just ludicrous. But all the doors are armed now. I forgot to do that on the departure. It looks really good. There's the other toilet. You open that, the noise goes up a little bit for the old flush. And yeah, we've got the forward cabin panel and stuff there at the top as well. Superb modelling. Chuffing it. And you can't actually walk through the door when it's closing on you. It becomes like an isolated area, which is pretty cool. There's the jump seat. Flight model is incredible, Tony. It's really, really good. Lovely job.
Raspberry 1, contact Boston Center, 134.7, good day.
1347, thanks for ATC, Raspberry 1.
Things like that, all animated as well. But it's so impressive. And yeah, for what it's worth as well, it has got a heads-up display, which is on this as well. We don't really ever use it because I just don't tend to.
403, contact Boston Center, 134.7, good day.
Contact Boston 1347. Thanks to the ATC, appreciate it. Have a good day, Flair 403. Bye.
Cheers.
Hello, Raspberry 1 at flight level 400.
It sounds like he's saying Raspberry 1.
Raspberry 1, hello.
Boston Center, good afternoon, or good morning rather. Flair 403 is level 380, Victor.
And aircraft calling, what's the call sign?
Flair 403.
Flair 403, Boston Center, hello, maintain flight level 380.
Roger. Right. Vicdu, we've got 6 tons of fuel on board at the moment, 5.7 on the estimated, so we are keeping an eye on that very closely. And it's worth us pulling the weather for Waterloo. So we've got winds 80 degrees at 12 knots, 9 statute mile visibility and light snow, broken cloud 3,300, overcast at 7,600, temperatures -6 degrees Celsius, dew point -9, altimeter 3012. So we can, inches of mercury 3012. Just scroll that across. So we can set that up. 080 at 12 is good. That's going to give us a beautiful headwind on the approach to 08. So everything sounds planned. Remember, there's no kind of arrival procedure into Waterloo, so we're just going to kind of have to, we'll have to try and do our best. Outside view then, Tony. Rightio. Sorry, I just had to sort out that bit of admin first.
Boston Center, FedEx 1227, descending on the Robot 3 arrival.
Looks good.
FedEx 1227,
lots of included deliveries in the iFly manager. And really good contrails and sounds.
Clear direct to Roebuck, FedEx 1227.
Mike, yeah, you can. GSX for some reason has been a bit clunky today, so even though I'd refreshed the cabin thing for passengers, having installed the Flair livery, it hasn't actually loaded anybody, and I don't know why. But yeah, it's one of those weird kind of things I think GSX has done. Ironically, overnight there has been another update to the update that I installed yesterday for GSX. So with that in mind, I wonder if perhaps they've identified something's gone a bit wrong on the previous one that I've installed. They've updated it to fix it, maybe. I don't know. And the wing flex is very good on it as well. Probably not going to see much here. But you can see there the wing being alive with the air. Yeah, Ian, weird. Is that generally in the sim? For you?
Yeah, locked in center on 132.2, and gauge 132.2.
There's the big SATCOM at the top for the old Wi-Fi and fly. And if you haven't seen the belly, Tony, as well, I'll just come round underneath and show you. Look at that. Ian, good afternoon, mate. I mean, I'm not a fan of the 737 as an aircraft in real life, but in flight sim, the 737 and the 737 MAX8 that we have, superb from PMTG, and this one from iFly as well. Really do enjoy flying all of these, to be fair. And it does look superb, doesn't it? Look at that. That's a screensaver background, I think. I was quite surprised by the Mentor pilot video the other day that I think Nighthawk was mentioning as well with this. So effectively, an Airbus, I think, has a system, from what we gather, that faults the pack if there's a problem, so then it would isolate the pack automatically, and I suppose stop toxic fumes getting into the cabin or the co-pilot. However, in the 737 MAX8, Boeing have put a system in place where if we had a bird strike, this is the summary of a larger video / report, but it's actually being suppressed by the FAA, Boeing and the EASA at the moment, which is weird. But effectively, a load of birds now fly into engine 1, and we have a huge bird strike, right? Within 30 seconds, if we have damaged fan blades and all that kind of stuff, the aircraft will dump fuel into the engine to rebalance the fan blades. That then burns dirty through the compressor and everything, and then the bleed air takes all of that burnt, dirty, fumy air from engine 1, goes through the packs and pumps it straight into the cockpit, and effectively that's deadly in less than 40 seconds. Whilst the pilots are going, ooh, what have we got? Oh, yeah, there we go, engine 1's going down. Oh, master warnings. Oh, we've got vibrations going through the roof there. Oh, it's a bird strike. What have we got? Oh yeah, oh, there's a fault on the pack, and then now they're unconscious. Before they've even thought, okay, don oxygen, all the rest of it, which is crazy. If the bird strike hits engine 2, it does the same, but it pumps it into the cabin instead. How crazy is that for a bit of engineering madness? I can't understand why that happened, why they've decided that that would be a good solution to like how to rebalance the engines in the event of engine damage from bird strikes and all that kind of stuff, or loss of a fan blade. Yeah, I did say oil, didn't I, Mike? It is Brady, yeah. It's a lazy, panicky excuse from Boeing because the A320neo and then Airbus bought the A220 from Bombardier as well, of course. They ended up just sweeping the market, and Boeing panicked and just basically made the 737 MAX. Yeah, I meant oil. Yeah, so basically it dumps oil into the compressor to help try and rebalance the engine. Not fuel, oil. I thought in my head I thought I said oil. Cami 5.8, good. So our fuel is just slightly above the estimate, which is nice. Daxug, quite a few waypoints left to go. It is utter madness, commentator. I don't like Mentapilot anymore because of the nonsense video that you put up about a month or so ago about trying to somehow link an Ethiopian crash to it being personal to him because he flew on it once. I think that is despicable. So I don't really like the guy anymore. But he has decided to quit being a pilot to become a full-time YouTuber, which to me is odd because it doesn't earn that much. Part of me thinks he maybe got made redundant or he got sacked for his YouTube channel, perhaps. Guess. If I had to guess, it's probably what I would assume. But that video is worth a watch because it actually is a bit more like investigative journalism.
Runway 33 left of the Boston altimeter is 3050.
We've got Arnav Zulu, I think is what I've gone for. But I don't know what we're going to come in via. Could be Upvot or Lesav. Don't know. How do I know? There's no procedures.
FedEx 1227 Boston.
There's an approach.
FedEx 1227.
There's no star.
FedEx
Noise abatement
1227
procedures.
the Robot 3 arrival, expect the ILS
Just
runway
talk about
23
glide
left
path.
approach to Boston altimeter 3050.
Descend the Robot 3 arrival, expect 33 left for FedEx 1227.
Right, who knows the RNAV capability of a 737 MAX8?
22 lost to departure radar contact, climb and maintain 16 spouse.
I think it could do LNAV, VNAV, but it can't do LPV, is that correct? Or can the MAX8 do LPV, but the NG series can't? I can't remember, it's been so long ago. Clear that fix as well, because we've still got that massive extended centre line running out. Let's clear that. Do a little bit of tidying up.
Okay, we still need 5 minutes.
That's approved. Let me know when you're back, please.
I will, thanks.
So basically all we have for Waterloo, Kitchener, RP Yankee, which has us kind of curve in from Sepka or Canig, or we've got the Zulu from Lesav or Upvot. That's all we've got. So our last waypoint is Mapen, which is all the way up here. We're actually, it's going to bring us in north. That would lead me to suggest coming in kind of this direction. Therefore, Upvot's probably going to be our best bet coming in here. Just thinking out loud. How I would logically think that the approach is going to take place. But that seems to be the most natural, but I can't remember fully the RNAV rules for this. Sammy says the MAX is capable of LPV, but I can't remember how to fly an LPV approach. It's just going to be LNAV VNAV to minimums, isn't it? With approach mode. Off the top of my head, is that right? Is that Google AI?
Hello, Boston Center, November 223 Tango Whiskey on Highway 7.
Thanks, commentator, appreciate it. No, I'm not even going, so I kind of, when I put the post out, I thought it was pointless because I'm not even going to receive the award, but I won't win it. But at least if my name's on the table, then that's all that matters. So we'll go Arnav Zulu 08s, Upvot transition, no stars, that's all we can do. And then we could just connect the dots, I suppose, get rid of that discontinuity. So we have a straight line from Mapen down to Upvot. Appreciate it, Jay. Nighthawks has had to abandon my flight. The Phoenix MCDU essentially exploded and the aircraft went wacky. Crikey. Was that in MSFS 2024 by any chance? Runway length, by the way, where is it? Is 7,003 feet, which is only 2,135 meters. So it's not very long. I'm going to say it. It's the Skiathos of Canada. Oh dear. I've got to find a different bloody slogan for that kind of thing. But yeah, basically Skiathos of Canada. Region of Waterloo, 7,003 feet, nice and short. That's LDA. So I'm just going to run through surface condition wet. I suppose it would be, yeah, because it's snowing. Calculation with factors distance. It's actually saying Max Auto as the recommended brake setting, but we're not going to do that because that's pretty strong. So what we'll do is we'll set auto brake 2, and then we'll, after touchdown, once we get a little bit of a bite from the brakes, from the auto brake system, we'll then take over and use manual braking instead and reverse. Might be interesting to see what RAS does as well in this instance. If I keep the speed a bit high for the first section of the touchdown, we should start to get call-outs towards the latter part of the rollout.
Flight level 300,
Yeah, this is basically the Skiathos of Canada, but with snow. Dino. We should make a list of the Skiathoses of, and then have that as like a tour. Not necessarily a tour between all of them, but just one leg that will take you to each one. So like the Skiathos of Canada, Waterloo. We could do... where else have I said that before? The Skiathos of Australia was Hamilton Island, wasn't it? I think, from the top of my head. Was it Hamilton Island? Or have I made that up? Queenstown for New Zealand. No brainer. 56 quid for the iFly, Tony says. There we go. Thank you for finding out, mate, the price. Yeah, it's very good. Yeah, I was superbly capable, Nighthawk. Beautiful landscape up here as well, isn't it? Something we don't often see with flight simming. Certainly buzzing around Europe and South America and all that kind of stuff. Mads is asking here a question. Luke, what would you choose? Frame gen mod, lossless scaling, DLSS swapper, or something else? Trying to decide what to go for. It was 2070 Super at 2K. I don't know, mate, to be honest. I'm not techie enough to understand how frame gen mod and lossless scaling work. I don't think they work on mine because I'm on the Microsoft Store version. But I have used DLSS Swapper, for what it's worth, in MSFS 2020, so I'm using 3.8 at the moment, for the latest DLSS, and I've used DLSS Swapper for that. Well, I think there's a newer one, but it won't let me download it. Yeah, he's worth every penny though, Sammy, in fairness, although it is $80 US for one aircraft. It's quite expensive, but yeah. It's just something worth considering. But yeah, I use TAA, but then I've got a 4090, so that does help. Try DLSS Swapper, because it's easier than faffing around with lossless scaling. I think lossless scaling you have to pay for as well. DLSS Swapper's free. That ground speed 341. Headwind's battering us. 108 knots on the nose. Keeping us slow. What have we got here? Prague. 1616 into Kitchener, Waterloo. 2.7 tons of fuel, so we'll basically have 800 kilos above reserves. Enough for one go around if it goes a bit peaked on. Or two go-arounds and a touchdown. It'll be one go-around or a divert.
Good afternoon, Airflight 755, flight level 350.
3012.
Air flight 755, Center, hello.
Just going to put that in there for the descent forecast later. And then, what have we got on the charts? Duper is 8.5 miles to touchdown. Recommended 3,000. So we can set runway 08, is that going to work? 075/8.
American 55 11, the wind 080 at 8 knots after departure flight runway heading.
We could just get rid of that extended centre line actually, just have a circle of 8 miles. ICMID 2,300 on the glide path, VDA. That's
For
4
223 Tango
miles.
Whiskey, why don't we got a little bit of a time here? What's your approach request at route?
Request the RNAV Zulu runway 19.
And we'll try
starting
LPV
from
1273. What's the airport elevation here? 1,054.
For 223 Tango Whiskey, you can expect
1,054. Let's get that. In
Thank
fact,
you,
that
sir.
can stay the same. Lovely. We'll leave that as it is, and then we can also get
Number
to
223 Tango
Brad
Whiskey, clear direct Gitsky.
decision altitude. So we flick
Clear
that over
direct
to Barrow.
Gitsky. 3 Tango Whiskey.
1273. Rab says his Navigraph charts have just crashed on him. That's the first. Check your. What's the Navigraph? Is it SimConnect? It's not SimConnect. What's it called? You know the program that runs in the background, like the plugin. Check that, see if that's still running. Because a few times that's logged me out, and then it kind of buggers up your Navigraph a little bit. And I can't work out why it's doing that.
For 223 Tango Whiskey,
Simlink.
cross
There we go, Jack. Thank you, matey.
25 miles southeast
Yeah.
of.
Honestly, my brain is
100
really
at
frazzled lately. I
6,000.
feel like I'm forgetting a lot of stuff.
Cross 25 miles southeast of
Lot
London
of scrolling
Airport
here.
at 6,000. 3 Tango Whiskey.
Changing that Barrow.
It's JetBlue 1805 Lost Center.
Getting there.
Yep. JetBlue 1805, check your altimeter. I should show you at 355 on 500 feet below flight level 360. You got opposite direction traffic at flight level 350.
Ooh. Standard, mate.
Well, at flight level, you should be at 2992, 2992 standard. You need to climb 500 feet.
1273. So that matches the charts.
Verify 755 opposite direction traffic is JetBlue 8 Airbus.
Yeah, Matt,
5
it
miles
is,
opposite
it is, and
direction,
it's been a
climbing
long
out
time
of,
since I
flight
flew
level
this, actually, to be
355,
fair,
flight
and I
level
think the last time I
360.
flew it was launch, where I was still getting my head around a lot of the systems, and we kind of had a good old explore of it, but it is so impressive as an aeroplane. It is really nice. I'm trying to find when we last flew it. It was before the PMDG 777 freighter released, I know that much. Crikey, it was before the A380 got released. There we go. The 13th of October was the last time we flew this. Juffinek. That's a long time, isn't it? So it's nice to be back in it. And I had forgotten how good the sounds and everything else are. JW Fire, thanks for the tip.
Hey, American 5511, Syracuse, departure radar contact, climb 181, 0,000. 0,000, American 5511.
Going to party. It's one of those things, isn't it? It's, and not long after that release, we then had the... What was it? I think it was the A380 got released, the Just Flight RJ Professional got released, and again we've not flown that for a long time, that's superb. The PMDG 777 Freighter then got released as well, so we've had a lot. The FS Labs A321 got released.
Scandinavian 909 Heavy, Boston Center radar contact. What is your cruise
And
altitude?
MSFS 2024 released after that as well, actually, I think. Am I right? I think it was in November, wasn't it? So there's been a lot of things actually happened since, where we've ended up just kind of pushing this into the back burner because we've had new sim, new aeroplanes, hardware, all the other things kind of... Yeah, there's just so much choice, David, isn't there?
American 5511 clear direct.
And it's hard trying to pick something to fly these days because there's a lot of very good options. The RJ's superb, the 777-300, amazing, the Freighter, really good. iFly 737. amazing. Phoenix, all of their aircraft, fantastic. PMTG 737s, I really love those as well still. Blabberwire A380.
Alright, sorry, I have a little trouble with the audio here. American 2710, Boston
Swim climb and puppy duties.
For your arrival into Bradley.
That's it's still taking up most of my time.
About that, the voice server is giving me a little problem tonight, or today. American 2710 across Madison had it maintained 11,000. The Bradley
sounds okay to me. Yeah, FSS 727 got released as well, actually. There's been like almost 5 aeroplanes released, plus all the new ones and the new sim as well, since this came out, and we've just found ourselves sidetracked. I can't wait for the Unibuilds A350, that's going to be awesome, it looks so good.
A 3 Tango Whiskey leaving flight level 300 for 6,000.
Tango Whiskey, right?
And I will be getting a preview copy of it, I just don't know when. So we're kind of just holding and waiting for that. So you'll have to stay tuned. When I do get it, I'll make extra time. If it means I'm up flying around in the sim pre-recording some content at 10 o'clock at night, 9 o'clock at night, then I'll try and get something out for you folks
down to 3,000. FedEx
the day that I get it. Although that sods law, I'll be on a 12-hour shift at work. I love a VOR DME approach, Sammy, and an NDB approach as well is always good. A bit trickier than a VOR.
Boston Center, Delta 1748 passing 2,300.
Delta 1748, Boston departure radar contact, climb maintain, flight level 280.
280, Delta 1748.
Take care, 154, 5644, we see this about 390.
And Brickyard 5644, have a little trouble hearing you, but welcome aboard, and you can descend and maintain flight level.
There's good traffic at this time of day over Boston.
Quebec Robert, descent level 230, Brickyard 5644.
Yeah, David, yeah. I probably won't get it at the same time as some of their paid or retained content creators. They've got a group of content creators, I think, from what I understand, or at least one anyway, that's literally paid to do promo stuff for them. They'll probably get it first, so they'll probably end up pushing out hype videos before others, and then I would imagine it will trickle out to other folks like myself a day or so later. So
join the runway 33 left localizer. Heading 33, turn heading 360 and then join the 33 left localizer, FedEx 1227.
I reckon if, for example, it comes out in 13 days from now, I reckon I'll have it in 12 days or 11 days, something like that. The sooner, of course, the better. I really, really am looking forward to it, especially the 1000 series.
Airspace to the north, Montreal's offline, radar service terminated, frequency change approved.
Over to advisory, thanks for ATC, Raspberry 1.
We'll be next, on to Unicom.
Flair 403, same for you, sir. Departing the airspace into Montreal, they're offline, radar service terminated, frequency change.
Roger, radar service terminated, and on to Unicom for Flair 403. Thanks to the ATC, have a great day.
Big F86 44, but to do the cockpit for 2 minutes.
Meow. Useless bit of information time from Jack. One of the things I've decided to do is to test my business model is to write his first scientific paper, making use of the degree I have collecting dust. What's the scientific paper going to be about? Yeah, we still don't have a 2024 compatible Heathrow, do we? Although I've plonked the AnyBuilds Heathrow from MSFS 2020 into the sim, into MSFS 2024, and it works okay. Although the new Premium Enhanced, whatever they call it, 2020 does look, sorry, the new Heathrow, the 2024 Premium Enhanced something, it does look very, very good. There's a lot of very nice textures on there, but my biggest worry is performance, because Heathrow in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 was so poorly optimised, and the Null Aero was really old, and that caused other issues in itself as well. Yeah, swim and climb. The A350, I think, by far is the best aircraft in commercial aviation at the moment, by a long stretch. Quantum entanglement in the early universe. Jeepers. It'd just be a short paper then, Jack, yeah? Just be a couple of pages. A couple of pages long. Rab says the A350 from AnyBuilds is a must for him. I agree. Yeah, I agree, but yeah, being the best modern aircraft there by far. I've been flying a bunch of general aviation in Microsoft 2024 from Jay, just because of the new flight model. It's amazing. Haven't some many airliners. I think you mean they haven't got to mess around with most of the airliners on there, but yeah. Oh no, yeah, that's absolutely fine, Andrew. It is, you're right. I mean, the 787 is basically just a 777 that's a bit more curvy at the front, and it's got some kind of angled bits on the back of the engine cowlings. That's all it is, really. Though I am sort of oversimplifying it, but I've flown in some 787s, and inside it is literally the same volume as a 777. It's really underwhelming and it's just not impressive for an aeroplane. But an A350, however, just something more to it. It's like the A380 as well. It's still very impressive. Yeah, very annoying window blinds on the 787. In fact, it was American Airlines that really miffed me off with those, because they locked them all to dark on a day flight to Chicago. And I wanted to look outside and enjoy Greenland and all that kind of stuff. And this part of the world now that we're flying around, although it had been sort of Halifax and all that sort of bit back there, I wanted to see all of that, and they kept dimming the windows. They locked them on the darkest setting. It was so annoying. I made the mistake of asking an American Airlines flight attendant to unlock the window for me so that I could look outside, and it was a fairly impolite no. Mr. Aneurysm, nice. How is Beyond ATC working in 2024? Is it working pretty well? Been a while since we flew using that. Nice. I mean, I read a thing a little while ago that AIG had made their model matching stuff compatible with the new sim. So, a couple of days ago, I think it was, I loaded up the AIG manager to try and get everything up to date, and then see if it will allow me to load in the sim, in the new sim. And there was like a little toggle option for 2024, and when I ticked that, it then said this is not compatible with MSFS 2024 yet. But then when I went to the MSFS 2020 option, selected that and loaded up the one-click installer from AIG, it then bugged out straight away. It wouldn't let me update anything, so I've got no idea what's going on with it. Yeah, I was going to ask, have they fixed the kind of vector departure stuff, David? Because I remember that being really buggy with Chicago and all that sort of thing. But that was quite a long time ago that we used it, to be fair. Then at A350 flight to Japan, the flight attendants made everybody close the window folds, so couldn't see anything, and no one wanted to open them because it would have lit up the entire cabin. I'd have just opened it anyway. If I'm up and I want to look outside, that window is getting opened. I paid for a window seat for that reason. Was it Beyond ATC that was saying there was going to be some sort of feature where you could load in the specific departures, like custom kind of nuanced departures, like fly runway heading after departure, all that kind of stuff? Was it those folks that said they were going to do that? I can't remember. I'm sure I saw it somewhere with a developer, but I just don't remember who it was. Don't forget again, folks, if you're looking for somewhere to fly later. Wow, Yellowknife Tower is online. It's crazy. Then they've got the West Coast Madness for VAT Canada later on from 1800 Zulu. You can fly into and out of Vancouver and all that sort of part of Canada with fully staffed air traffic control. And they're hoping, and I'm hoping as well, we get a couple of Osprey flying in and out for the controllers. I think, David, are you one of the controllers today as well? I'd love to have taken part today, but it's just the night time, the evenings are too chaotic with the dog. It's just far too chaotic with the dog. So it's just impossible. Yeah, MPS, the headwinds are strong today. 117 for me at the moment. Oh nice, that's a long slog for you then, David. It's going to be midnight, isn't it? 6 till midnight basically you're going to be on. Oh, that reminded me. Where are we in my VATSIM UK tower queue? Probably check. I still haven't done the Moodle or the exam. I keep failing the exam because I don't do the Moodle. Dashboard. Right, where are we? Other services, waiting lists. I'm position number 57. How do you see my statistics? Oh, it's only logged 2 hours. I did 2 hours 50 minutes as well, but it rounded it to 2 hours. Which means that by the end of next month I need to have done at least another hour of air traffic control. So one of the next few streams is going to have to be one of those. 2 hours? Definitely did longer than that. Unbelievable. Moved 50 spots in nearly a year, David says. Oh, crikey, that means I've got another 12 months to go. Oh, David, that's mega cheeky, isn't it? On a recent flight to Sri Lanka, David says in the chat there, the person behind him reached over into his seat area and closed his blind. Good grief. That's why they invented blindfolds, eye cover things. That's why they're in the immunity kits for most airlines as well. Put your eye mask on, keep your hands to yourself, and let me look outside the window. I've no idea, Jack. I've toyed with the idea of doing that myself as well, but I just don't know where to start because I just don't get coding very well. But I've toyed massively with the idea of creating an aeroplane add-on, one way or another. Don't have any. Where's? Okay, we've got Waterloo VOR 15.0. I was going to say I'm looking for on the various charts. And actually, GLS is what we need, isn't it? I need to put that code in, don't I? Is this? Oh, I can't remember if I'm doing this wrong. Error. Maybe I am. It's just going to be the data, isn't it? I'd be up for that, Jack. We've put the approach in, so we're just going to have to see what happens. But yeah, not sure where if we need to put in the channel number and confirm any of that. Is there a manual with this? Have a quick look, load it up. If there is. This PC, desktop, 2020 folder. What's it called? iFly. Is it iFly 737 in here? Yes. iFly MAX8. Data, documentation. I'm going to open up all of the supplements. What have we got here? Not that one. Or that one. Use guide flight tutorial. I want a contents list at least. Drop a neck. Port starts, engine starts, takeoff procedure, climb, descent, ILS. So it's going to be required navigation performance, page 39, but I'm going to go to page 35 first. And I'm going to bring it up on the screen for you guys when I find it. And we shall figure it out together. he says confidently. The IAN system is Boeing's approach to making flying of non-position approaches much simpler to increase procedure commonality with ILS procedures. Integrated approach navigation is an enhancement to the aircraft's existing flight management computer and the auto-flight system's capability. It's not a virtual ILS, but rather a system that allows the aircraft to fly a published, non-precision approach using the approach mode of the auto-flight system, with the added advantage of having an FMC-generated glide path and also lateral course guidance information displayed during the approach on the primary flight display in the form of deviation pointers similar to the visualization of an ILS. Unlike an ILS approach though, an incorrect altimeter setting during a IAN approach will have adverse consequences. We're not doing one of those today though. Because the RNAV is a precision approach, isn't it? God, I feel like I'm like a new to flight simmer. Right, so when we roll wings level, let's just get the charts up here to compare. I mean, that would be a radius to fix from SEPCA to IMKID, but when we go roll, basically wings level between DUPA and ICMID, we're going to... What's the difference here? GNSS or RMP. We're going to do RMP Yankee then, that's probably better, isn't it? I can't remember the difference between the two of those either. Chuff neck. Proper brain fart today. Yeah, when we go wings level, that's when we'll press the approach button, and then it's going to use this feature, this virtual kind of integrated approach navigation system, IAN. Nav receivers must be set to a VOR frequency. IAN can be used to fly approaches with the following three options. One, with autopilot, single autopilot operation only, do not use below 100 feet rad out. The system does not have capability for auto-land or dual autopilot approaches. 2, manual flight with flight director guidance. 3, manual flight raw data. However, the deviation scales and pointers will not display automatically. You need to arm approach from the AFDS system first, then switch off the autopilot flight directors to get into raw data mode. Chuff the neck. However, once the next active waypoint starts a straight final approach course, approach mode may be selected. Use the approach above as an example to YVR. Approach may be selected when the aircraft is past Ombok and M2. Shows as the next active waypoint. See legs page. General procedure guide. The procedures for using IAN are very similar to procedures employed during a standard ILS approach. First, select the approach you want to fly on the approach / arrivals page. This option allows you to choose which vertical line is used to approach, either the ILS glide slope or FMC generated glide path. If you have selected ILS approach, the GS option is set to on by default, for lock approach set to off. But we're not doing either of those. For all non-localized based approaches, the GS on-off option is not shown. The next step is to do the correct approach preparation. Verify the proper local barometric setting is entered. Verify again that the correct approach is selected in the FMC. It is. Although I just cleared that by accident again. Where's the thing gone? Tune the correct nav aids for the approach and set the final approach course, not runway heading, on both MCP course selectors. Set the approach minimum with the minimum selector on the EFIS. We've already done that. Select the correct flap setting and VREF for the approach. Choose your auto brake setting. Brief and review the approach. Now fly the initial intermediate approach like you would any non-precision approach until you are on the intercept heading, turning to final approach course. Press approach on the MCP to arm the IAN function. Your FMA on the PFD will then show GP, glide path, as the armed and vertical mode, and either FAC, VOR lock, or BCRS. It's going to be FAC, that should get displayed on approach course. Depending on the type of approach you are flying, final approach course is used as a mode for all non-localizer based approaches where lateral guidance is supplied by the FMC. Next, the autopilot, if engaged, will capture FAC, and the glide path pointer will come alive in the PFD. It's good practice to capture the glide path in flap 5, speed 5 configuration, unless the final approach altitude is very low, i.e. below 2000 above ground level. In that case, it's better to be gear down flap 15 already. Once the glide path is captured, you can then set the missed approach altitude in the MCP altitude window. Then fly the approach just like any normal ILS using the deviation pointers on the PFD for guidance. You can use the autopilot down to 100 feet rad out, but especially for offset approaches it is recommended to disengage the autopilot early when we have the runway in sight to have more time visually to align the aircraft. Enjoy your landing. That's talking about required or actual navigation performance. 0.3 is the minimum for final approach. It's just going through the manual there for different terrain displays and all that sort of stuff. So actually, we've set everything up now as it is. Interestingly as well, it goes into this legs between waypoints. Track to fix, direct to fix, course to fix, radius to fix. So the aircraft can do all of these as well. In the following discussion we will introduce these track types. Track to fix legs are intercepted and acquired as the flight track to the following waypoint. Track to fix legs are sometimes called point to point legs for this reason. The flight segment from Whiskey Yankee to GS01 in the following two pictures is track to fix. I mean, that waypoint literally doesn't exist in any of the screenshots. Oh well. Let's talk about overflies or flybys. Direct fix is a path described by an aircraft's track for initial area direct to the next waypoint, which is that example. Course to fix is a path that terminates at a fix with a specified course at that fix. And then radius to fix is like your VOR approaches, flying like a 10 DME arc around something. Oh yeah, we know about those. But yeah, IAN, Integrated Approach Navigation, is going to be a feature that we're going to be checking out today on this approach. If it all goes well. Yeah, GNSS, Global Navigation Satellite System approach onto 08. what it's worth actually doing while we've got a bit of time, because top of descent is up there, just over 200 something miles away. What we can do is just go right up forwards to the final approach here, bring up the charts. We've only got Duper, ICMID, Zoxat, and then touchdown. But it'd be worth us just checking there. Look, glide path angle VDA 3870 at Duper. That's 3000 above. ICMID 2300. Zoxat 1630. But again, that's above. At or above. But it's got 2 DME and it's also got glide path 3.1 there. Mathis, yes, we'll use the approach mode. That's what will trigger the IAN mode. So you could use LNAV VNAV, but if you trigger, and that will just follow the guidance from the FMS down, but then at some point you're going to want to turn it all off and hand fly the last bit. But if you then, by reading the manual, it says if you then press approach mode when we're wings level between Duper and ICMID, so quite quickly after passing Duper, when we get our wings level, we want to press approach, and that should then effectively arm the integrated approach navigation system, which will mimic like the ILS, and we'll get then like final approach modes and stuff. Nice route there, Sammy. About to fly the JetBlue flight from Cancun to Tampa. And Savex is coming up, so it'd be wise for us to do a little fuel check, I think, at Savex. 4 tons on the board. 11 miles. We're almost bang on that, to be fair, actually. So it's going to be... we should pretty much be bang on our fuel burn. Jenka, welcome. Welcome back. Yeah, the headwind's definitely picked up now at 132. And MPS has got 133. Probably be 4.1 tons as we pass Savex. Just monitoring that at the moment. We shall see what it gives us. That's all right, that's slightly lower headwind for you down at 320 then, Mathis. Good. We want to make the most of that, mate. Ah, dogfight, you mean that button there? Yeah, it's been a while since I've flown one of these, so like I said at the start, I'm going to make the odd mistake here and there. Can't fully remember. No, that's I mean that's very much personal preference dogfight. I've had this kind of argument in the past with people, but other 737 pilots have then waded in and said actually they don't want that, they prefer in flight to see that, or some of them said on takeoff they like to see their whole nav display with the pilot monitoring, kind of focusing on the rest of the stuff, but then having it in kind of eyesight like that, because we don't get the perspective of kind of peripheral vision and things. Where realistically we'd kind of have that as a bit of a view, wouldn't we? Kind of like yeah, like that maybe, without actual eyes. I don't know. You get very much. That's the thing with simmers like myself. You get big conflicting information from a lot of other people. Revved up rides, welcome. Mathis, what are you using the Soundworks on? Is it the 737NG series? Dogfight, here's a question for you. How do you find the integrated approach navigation stuff in the 737 MAX? Have you used it? How have you found that it's? How have you found the operation of it? Is it pretty good? Nighthawks looks like he's arrived in Kitchener, region of Waterloo International Airport. Badger's on his descent. MPS is next. Still got a fair little way to go actually, to be fair. But yeah, I'd have flown over all of this when I was flying into Chicago ages ago, as COVID was hitting actually. Come to think of it. Because that's still like another hour and a bit on the nose, isn't it, Chicago? Ian says, got a surprise trip to Budapest on Monday. Very exciting. What's a Wizz Air flight like? Never used them before. Hopefully you're not taller than 5'5" for the legroom. It's one of those airlines, isn't it, where you just get what you pay for. So take your own snacks, that kind of thing. You're probably going to end up buying drinks at the airport or in flight, one or the other. But it's basically like an alternative to Ryanair, Wizz, from what I gather. Although I haven't flown them myself either, to be fair. Yeah, superb landscape. Big thanks to everyone who's hit the like button so far as well, appreciate it. Great to see lots of you enjoying the stream. This is basically like one a week and a half that I'm kind of getting into at the moment now, if we're lucky. 6'2", Ian. Do Wizz Air do extra legroom seats? Radiant, welcome. I was hoping to, but I just can't make the times work for me. 1800 Zulu for me is a bit too late with the puppy and all that kind of stuff. So I'm hoping we're going to get a few Osprey Airways folks take part later. In fact, while we've got people watching. There's a poll for you folks. Who watching at the moment is taking part in the VATSIM Canada West Coast event later from 1800Z? There's basically 2 yeses. Top one is yes, going to fly Osprey Airways. The second one is going to be yes for other airlines, and then there's also a no. But they're hoping for a few Osprey Airways folks, but it's a huge event. But yeah, you save plenty of time to join, but 1800 Zulu to 6 AM Zulu is a bit. It's not great for us this side of the world. But hopefully you'll get a couple of Osprey traffic, or a few aeroplanes from Osprey anyway. Yeah, there are lots of prizes. I'm just trying to find the link at the moment. West Coast Madness. What have we got? 16th of the 2nd, it's 15th. Right, here we go. Crossfire. Gosh. There's prizes from Navigraph, Volanta, Contrail, Orbex. I'm trying to find a list of the... No, I can't see. Right, here we go. So there's going to be one free 1-year Navigraph Unlimited subscription taking part in the event, which is mega. There's 2 €25 gift cards from the Contrail web shop. You can maximise that as well if you win by using the code in the description down below to get an extra 10% off your basket if you've not done that before yourselves. 3 prizes available for any Orbex product of your choice, Orbex developed products, and then 10 vouchers for any scenery from Canadian Flight Sim Studios. So quite a few prizes up for grabs there, and some of them are whoppers. That's really cool. So yeah, anyone that is looking to take part in the event later, there you go. David's put the link in the live chat. He did that earlier on as well. Actually, I just forgot to actually click it. But yeah, there you go. That's you can get all the details from there, including some of the precise routing strings that are in place as well. Should have thought I should have actually reached out and offered to throw in a couple of extra prizes from the channel as well. A couple of mugs and maybe like an operations notepad or something. Could have put the VATCAN logo on as well as a little Brucey bonus for the giveaway, as an event special. But it's probably too late. Maybe next time. I haven't sponsored an event in a little while actually. Can't remember the last time we did one. 147 knot headwind for MPS. Crikey. It's a little reminder. Let's get the airport map up for Kitchener. So that's going to be the layout. We're using 08, so we've got the longer of the two runways. So we won't fit on the little one. We'll use probably most of it. And we'll taxi into the stands down below, connecting to Abergraph. Kitchener. Route setup. Oh yeah, that's that one. And then we get that chart there as well, although I can't see where. It seems to be we only have one chart for the terminal. Oh well. That's still actually quite helpful, isn't it, for taxiing in and things. Go to the landing page. CYKF Kitchener. This last time, there we go. 08. It's going to be wet because of the conditions. Dot Meta CYKF 09011 gusting 16. Outside air temperature -5 and altimeter 3008. Lap config probably 40. What's the sim brief performance calculator telling me? Oh, flap 30. Air conditioning on, anti-ice off, brakes 2, DREF added 5. Although, what's the gusts? Gusting 16, 5 knots. 10. That's the landing dispatch page anyway. There's a blank box there, I don't know what that's for. Hey ho. Don't forget the shameless plug for a vote in the Flight Sim Awards, Ian says. Yes. You've got like a week or so to vote, 2 weeks or so to vote for the Flight Sim Awards 2025 hosted by FS Weekend in Lelstadt. If you go to flightsim-awards.com, you'll be able to kind of have your say on what your favourite add-ons, add-on creators, aircraft creators, scenery creators, all that sort of thing, and the favourite freeware is going to be. There's the link in the live chat. Right at the very end, there's an opportunity for you to vote on your favourite content creator. It could be whoever it is, but if you vote for myself, I'd absolutely love that. And you basically type in whoever you wish to vote for. And they've left it well open because they can't narrow it down to a selection of 6 or whatever. So they've basically said whoever your favourite content creator is, vote in there. Obviously you're going to type British Av Geek and then press submit, but yeah. Quadian, yeah. Have a little. Oh yeah, feel free to get in touch with me if you wish, to at least arrange it for another time. It's probably a bit too short notice now. He's got all the thumbnails and all the event pages and everything already generated, but yeah. 700 movements in the 12 hours for the event. Whoosh. That's going to be very busy. Yeah, no slot times. There's going to be a couple of special routes, but you can literally fly into and out of any of the Canadian West Coast airports while they're fully staffed, from wherever or to wherever you wish. It's really cool. If the timings were a bit better for myself with how everything is with the puppy and everything, I would have definitely jumped in and tried to at least land nearer the time, but running into 5 PM I'm sort of pushing it as it is. Not too long to top of descent now. So we've already put those fixes in. Let's go ahead and I'm just going to put an extended centre line in, 075 at 8. And then I'm also going to put the opposite direction in, which is 255 at 4. Just to kind of get a double line across there. So that's going to be against the runway. What have we got here? On our GNSS runway 08. Missed approach, climb to 4000, track 075. To Liebel, as required, shuttle climb. We've done our minimum, we've done our approach kind of airport elevation for the pressure panel. To see what happens, and we've checked all that data there. That's all good. I'm going to set 075 on the box here for course. So we've got something to track. And we wanted auto brake 2, but we'll go to manual brakes on touchdown. It recommends max auto brake, but we're not going to do that. .0. So we're tracking a VOR. We don't have any ILSs tuned, so that's one of the prerequisites for the IAN. And our landing weight is going to be around 64.1 tonne. So we'll pop that in the box, flap 30. Go for +5, but I'm tempted to say +10. It's going to bring us in quick, but we've got those gusts and it's a headwind, so if that gust then disappears, that 5-knot gust, if it's persistent for a few seconds and the aircraft corrects, then all of a sudden that airspeed then drops by 5 knots when the gust disappears as well. So we'll play it by ear. We'll just see what happens. Maximus, hope you're having a good weekend. Check the old warning panel, and we'll do a little warning, little recall check. Do we have any ATC? No, good. Okay, so we then also now need to check, because we're on CTAF into Kitchener, Waterloo Tower. Oh, there's 2. So we can go .CTAF. CYKF, see what it gives us. 1260. I'll type that command in the live chat for you folks. If you're flying along on VATSIM and you're not sure how to find or you've got an airport like Vancouver or something maybe, or even Kitchener that have got 2-3 different frequencies for tower, then you can type in .ctaf and then the airport code in the text bar on vPilot, hit enter, and then it will give you the information. And I'll just put the formula in the live chat for you folks so you can see. It looks like that. And then it will go CTAF at CYKF is 126.000, and it pings back a little text message to you. It's a really handy tool, but it's a super quick way of finding out what your CTAF frequency is inbound to an airport. In Flow Pro, Ian says there's a great widget that you can use as well. Awesome. Quadian says if you use VATSIM radar, there is also an ATC tab that will show you the CTAF frequencies. I do love VATSIM radar, it's bloody good. That's Toronto. CYKF, gotcha. I'm just going to get that up on the screen for you folks so you can see. Stand by. This is VATSIM radar, it's super good. You can choose your weather radar overlays and all that kind of stuff as well, and you can see all the different sectors online. You can zoom on into KF, which is down here, region of Waterloo. That's where we're flying into. Hell of a lot of cloud. We can go ATC, and at the top there, look, CTAF trial 126.000. And then you can also see the aircraft inbound and outbound as well, along with pilot stats. Wow, I've got 1,847 hours on VATSIM. Jeepers. No, I had that many. Meta gives you it there as well. It's a really good little website, this. VATSIM-radar.com. There's another way for you to get your CTAF. Epic. Hopefully we didn't flush the loo at the same time, Quadian, because I was pressing flush a few times. And yet on Navigraph, there's the charts. You can have a little look there as well. So you've got lots of different frequencies on the Navigraph chart functionality, but you can see one says multicom, and that is effectively your Unicom or your CTAF frequency. So 126.0 there for your multicom frequency. That's the one it's telling you. So at the very bottom you've got tower air traffic control, Waterloo 1855, Waterloo 1260. Multicom is telling you which one is used for CTAF. So 1260 there. That's another easy resource. 4-knot crosswind, 9-knot headwind, IFR conditions into Waterloo. And the alternate is Buffalo Niagara International. It goes a bit Pete-tong. We'll keep that poll going just for a little bit longer, because West Coast Madness is starting in a few hours from now. If you are maybe thinking, I like flying on VATSIM but I don't know where to fly later, Canada is the one. You'll be in with a chance then, flying into and out of Vancouver for example, and the West Coast, you'll be in with a chance of winning some big prizes like Navigraph Ultimate for a year. Definitely worth taking part if you're looking for somewhere to fly. I can't remember what this click spot here does. Does anyone else remember? This whole card here is a click spot. I can't remember what it's for. Let's have a quick external view before we get committed into the descent, because we are almost there. Snowy Canadian landscape below. I wouldn't ever want to fly on a MAX or a 737 to be fair, but for flight sim, as I've said before, it is superb. But I've got no confidence in the real plane, sadly. Rap don't. I actually can't remember what it does as a click spot, so I daren't click it. Ah, Badger, that's not very good. Well, I'm going to zoom out, I'm going to click it then. This is worthy of the massive tip that Jack popped in. Whatever's going to happen, I have no idea. Oh my god. Oh, it's active pause. It was good that the nav display flashed though to tell us. Although, do you reckon that's buggered my new sky? I hope not. Although you can pause, can't you? And then unpause on New Sky. Yeah, no engine failure. You'll be pleased to know, or disappointed to know, depending on how much you want to see me sweat. I have done a single engine approach before, though. In the 737-800, I think, wasn't it, or 737-700 back in the day, into Bradley. Some of you guys will remember that. We simulated an engine failure, an engine one fire, wasn't it? We simulated that, shut down, extinguish. And then single engine approach, hand flown. I am tempted to do that today if the weather's good, but the weather is not good. And it'll be sod's law, we'll get ATC online as I'm zooming in, desperately trying to keep the aeroplane in the air. Many poos, Ian, yeah. I think I'll leave the HUD up for a little bit as well, because it'd be quite interesting to see that in action with this approach. And then when we get to the hand-flown element, I'll get rid of it because I don't like it. It gets in the way. I like to hide it and then just look out the window. Purist flying. I kind of wish GSX de-icing did something though. I am a little bit disappointed that we sprayed all that de-icer fluid on and it didn't do anything. What the hell caused that? Did you guys see that? We got like an autopilot reset. That top, the middle one there, auto thrust P reset, and then VNAV dropped off. Weird. I don't know what's caused that. What do we want to go down to? We'll probably just run a continuous descent down to 3,000. Was it 3? Yeah, 3,000 feet. Matt, welcome. Good morning. 2,000 overcast with light snow. That's deteriorated rapidly, hasn't it? This is going to be an interestingly spicy approach. That's 1,000 foot above ground level when we should then bust underneath. It's going to be quite hairy. We've got a bit of fuel for go-arounds. I have to remind myself what the go-around procedure for this is. $3,000 LNAV, VNAV, path. Course is all set. Sarnav Zulu 08. Minima set. Local QNH is 3009er. That's dropped actually quite a bit again. 3009er. Just going to go to the descent VNAV page and change that as well. So it's dropped a fair bit. In inches of mercury it has, it's probably like 1 hectopascal in reality. AP reset again. What's happening? That's all good. That's all good. Well, we're going to have to monitor that one then, like a hawk. If that VNAV drops off in the descent, we'll need to go to vertical speed mode and continue it. I'm hoping WindWing sorts out the FMS hardware as well to work with all the 737s in the sim. It's kind of no excuse, because it seems to now only work with the 737-800, which is bizarre, because the 700 and the 900 are basically the same. It's the same system, and it's the same sim vars. I don't know why that's triggering like the WindWing hardware not to work, and the iFly 737 MAX8 as well. It should just, they should be coding it to work, and I don't know why it's not. But yeah, maybe there's some gremlins in the iFly. Dino's asking if I'm knocking any controls. The only one I was clicking was the kind of this view reset button. We'll keep an eye. What have we got? VREF, Barrow, 3009er. Landing elevation's 1050, that's set. And that is 1,000 foot below the overcast cloud base that we've got. Where's that METAR in the live chat? Let's grab it, I'll generate one. So that in the chat, folks, is going to be the METAR when Nightbot gets it sorted out. There we go. As of 20 minutes ago, winds 100 degrees at 10 knots, gusting 17. Oh my god, that's got really bad. Visibility 1 3/4 statute miles in light snow. Overcast 1900 AGL. -5, dew point -8, altimeter 3009er. Right, missed approach procedure in this is going to be, if auto throttle is connected still and active, press the toga switch once for soft go around, twice for toga go around, like give it the beans. If it's auto throttle off near to touchdown, it's going to be manual throttle control. Positive rate will then move the flap levers up to 15. So go from flap 30 to flap 15, and then positive rate gear up, Coadian says we're flying into a nice snowstorm. We're expecting 28 inches of snow in the next 24 hours. Oh my god. I didn't know that when I was prepping the stream, thinking where to fly. MPS game and good luck. Give us a weather report, mate. It'll be interesting to see how the snow looks on the ground at this scenery. It's Astralis Studios' new Region of Waterloo International. It's going to be interesting to see what it's going to look like in MSFS 2020. MPS Gamer says he can't see anything now, and he's on final. Oh dear. Good luck and focus. I feel like if we had more European folk flying, like as VATCAN controllers, then there would be like loads of ATC around Canada all the time. Because I feel like they get great service in the afternoon and evening, but very little in this kind of time of day. And I'd be up for transferring. I don't know what the rules or how it works. David's done a lot of work with it, but. I suppose the airports like Halifax and even Toronto and all that kind of stuff, I would imagine, because it's in kind of French Canada, you would probably have to fly. You'd probably need to kind of know French, wouldn't you? 19.3 for Toronto Centre. Toronto Centre. 19.3. Just going to double click the ATIS real quick. What have we got here? Approach RNAV Zulu or Yankee 08, landing and departing 08, runway surface condition. There's something to do with that. That's what did I click then a second ago? There's some sort of weird ghost thing that's clicking around. Only Montreal requires French. Ah. Altimeter 3008. It's changed again. Let's give it a quick little update. Runway surface condition 08.
Toronto approach morning, Delta 2883.
I'm just listening in on the local frequency now for Toronto approach.
And Delta 28, 83 Toronto Terminal, good day. Unfortunately, no control Pearson, you're going to be local frequency.
Oh, okay, we'll go back over to CSAP 2880.
Trying to work out roughly what's keeping an eye on my speed there as well. I'm trying to work out what altitudes I'll need to contact him on. Speed acceleration should lead off now. Landing point 08, runway surface condition code 666, 10%, 1/8 inch dry snow, 10% 1/8 inch dry snow, 10% dry snow, valid 15th Feb 1412 Z to Feb 15 2212 Z. Happy runway 26 is unserviceable. Information kilo. Info kilo, altimeter 300. The altimeter 3008 stuff would confuse me though if I was a Canadian controller, because literally everything for me is always being QNH. I was thinking 18 for the transition, but yeah, 16 sounds good, David. Thank you. Appreciate your expertise, and Kuwadian as well in the chat. VATCAN, I assume. So we've got yeah, ATC for the way in, and this is going to be a tricky approach, I think. Good effort, MPS. Let's bring that range ring in as well. So we're configured for the RNAV Zulu. We're effectively flying an extended downwind, or a downwind leg rather, that starts quite early from Herbal. We're effectively joining a downwind leg all the way down to upvot, then turning in on base, then final. So think of it as a nice square circuit, so to speak. Oh, that was a violent shift of weather. Put the seatbelt signs on. I'm tempted to turn the icing systems on early. Zarda says, just landed, caution, ice on the runway. So we definitely can't use max auto brake then, because we might then skid. Been ages since I've flown a 737. I hope I don't stuff this up. There's every chance. I'm trying to think when I last flew it. Let's have a look. Live streams. In fact, yeah, I've not even flown a 737 since we last flew this in October. Christ. And then even then, the time before that was Phoenix, 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 Phoenix. MTG 777s, MD11, 727, 777, 300. Crikey. Lots of 777 love. So good though.
Toronto, hello. Red Cruise 1 on the ground at Waterloo at taxiway Charlie.
737-800 ops. The last time we flew a 737 before October was the 11th of June. So I've flown it twice in 8 months. So this is going to be rusty.
Charlie to the apron, Red Cruise 1, thank you.
So you have to bear with me. Hopefully I don't stuff this up.
You want to go further south there, Alpha?
Matt, I have, you know what, the Bluebird 757 looks like it's coming on to be an absolutely superb aeroplane, doesn't it? It just looks great. It sounds like they're doing really fantastic work. Super excited for that. You know what, I've never been to Canada. It is on my list of places to visit. And everyone that I know has been there has only ever said good things. We're going to fly through all of that gumph. First bit we'll leave. Yeah, 757 and A350 up to perfection. And yeah, the 747 from PMDG when that comes. Very excited for that as well. Queen of the Skies.
Victor 38 Charlie, Toronto Terminal, good day. Unfortunately, out of control, Toronto Pearson. You're going to be at local frequency that can come on the way up.
Approach looks to be up to 12.5. Alright, we've got a bit of time. Let's go back to Unicom just to be safe. Probably got about 25, 30 track miles to go before we contact him. Yeah, about 25 miles to go. Thereabouts. Oh, Zata, that's brutal. The thing is with Canada, I don't know where to go. I don't know which bit to go, because Vancouver looks amazing, Toronto looks amazing, Calgary sounds fantastic as well, especially if you drive off into Banff and things. MPS said he almost needed the entire runway with maximum brakes. Oh, crikey. Maybe we'll change plan and go for flat 40 then. What do you reckon? What were you flying, MPS, actually, out of curiosity? Oh, you know what? We'll just go. We'll send it. We'll see what happens. 738. Nice. Right, into cloud. I know it's only thin, but let's just preempt there being a problem here. Wing and engine anti-ice can come on. Probes are manually on, they're not just on automatic. We've actually manually set them on anyway after departure, just for good habits with the 737 series. Wing lights can come on as well, seatbelt signs are on, just so we can actually observe the wings. So certainly that bit of weather up there looks ominous, doesn't it? We don't have a weather radar in this that works. So it's almost pointless having that on, to be honest. Libel's our missed approach point there. And there's the hole generated, that little blue line, that's our missed approach. If we are hand flying that, it's just going to be basically runway heading. Definitely oversensitive. Like all I did then was just touch. I put my hand on my yoke or my wing HOTAS. Didn't even click a button. That's the weird thing. Turn off override in the EFB. Wow, chuff it. It's a good panel style, isn't it? Is it this? No. Inhibit yoke when autopilot's engaged. Inhibit throttles when auto throttle engaged. What? No, I'll leave that because I feel like I'll end up breaking it and doing something wrong. Right. 19.3, let's go. Pretty much a transition into the cloud as well. Here we go. It's going to get ominous. Trying to approach good good morning, Flair 403, 737 MAX8 with Kilo, descending flight level 180.
Flair 403, Toronto Terminal, good day, stock.
Day score cadent, Flair 403.
Approach hello, this is Flair 55, continue descending to 210.
Flair 25, Toronto Terminal, good day, stock. 403 identified, 17,000. Runway 08 currently in Waterloo, information Lima, Altimeter 3009,
Lima 3009 and requesting the RMP Zulu for 08, Flair 403.
Flair 403, can you accept the SEPCA transition?
I can take the UBVOT transition. I can change to the RMP Yankee SEPCA transition if you wish, Flair 403.
Oh no, that's my bad. But we're to expect the Waterloo RNAV to runway 08 approach.
Okay, thanks, Flair 403.
Flair 403 descend 5,000.
Send 5,000, 403.
Flair 225, I think I missed it, but you're identified flight level 200. Waterloo runway 08 and use information, main altimeter 3009.
Swim and climb, there isn't one, mate. So you, the best thing to do is go to sim brief and then go to the performance calculator in sim brief.
Information,
Pretty good.
MAX8 with 26,000.
Yeah, that does need to be inhibited. Actually, to be fair, that's a stupid system.
Flair 225, safe
Question the RB Zulu 08 for...
Good, there we go, that solved it.
You can expect the RNAV Zulu 08 via a bus. For now, the vectors for spacing turn right heading at 300.
Yeah, RB Zulu via bus, and we'll for spacing we turn right 300.
Maximus, so that was a setting.
Turn right, very good.
Inhibit yoke when autopilot engaged means that if I touch my stick now, because the autopilot's engaged, it won't register my, even if I just sort of slightly knock it. And the inhibit throttles is the same. If I knock my throttle now, then it won't actually inhibit that. It won't kind of change any settings, so I've inhibited both of those. Big thank you to our ATC from VATCAN today. It's really nice flying around somewhere that we've not gone to for a very long time, and we've had some ATC.
2472 identified.
Certainly before they kick off a big event in less than 2 hours as well. Very kind.
Information Lena on board, and we're requesting the RMP Zulu for runway 08, please.
2472, expect the RNAV Zulu runway 08 spot transition. Descend 6,000.
Descend 6,000.
Looking pretty good. A lot of clouds on this side. You'd be sitting there looking out the window, wouldn't you? Gee. MSFS 2020 still looks absolutely superb, doesn't it? A little gap in the landscape below. Very dark cloud, that's full of snow. Interesting to see that's on auto, isn't it? Yeah. Just make sure that's back in line. .250. Upvolt has got a speed restriction of 210. What's that in 15 or so? We'll have to start decelerating fairly soon. Might start decelerating now, to be fair. That's our minimum clean as well. So, FMC speed VNAV path. Altimeter set. Come up to 10,000. Gonna put them onto ignition now.
Clear the Waterloo RNAV Zulu runway 08 approach.
Clear Waterloo RNAV 08 approach, Flair 403. Upvolt. It's coming up. And a very gentle deceleration, I'm happy with that. It's max 210. Actually, I'm going to want to start bringing our speed down towards effectively what's going to be about 180 knots, I would imagine.
00 West,
That wall of cloud. No turbulence though as of yet. Keep an eye on the wing. Got a minute or so. There's a little bit of a bounce.
225 cents.
Let's get rid of that music for now. I think it may or may not have been loud enough. Oh, that's a great bit of wing flex. Gonna bring that to 1500 foot per minute here. Drag required. Just gonna give it a little bit of speed brake.
25 left turn, left heading 270.
Left 270 for Flair 5.
And actually, we can go for flap setting 1 as well. That's also adversely going to increase the drag as well as the lift. Vibration on my wing HOTAS now. Very nice. Actually, let's leave the speed brake armed. Lights, signs. Just turn that panel brightness up a little bit. We've got engine modes onto continuous now already, and we've got the anti-icing systems are on. I'll turn them off prior to the approach. Hopefully I remember.
Charlie Fox, right after the Sierra Alpha Tron terminal in the frequency.
Matt, yeah, it's really good. I was going to sell my Thrustmaster Boeing yoke, to be honest. It's got like a bit of a dirty pot sensor thing where it's just a bit twitches every now and again. Something not quite right with it. I was tempted to sell it, but I figured, well, who's going to buy it if it's showing signs of it being a bit broken? I'm not a fan of it, their stuff anymore, to be honest. It's quite cheap and a bit rubbish. Windwing are making some really nice high quality kit at very good prices. Yeah, I just use the Windwing HOTAS for everything now.
Procedure is up for Flair 2.5.
I know some people will be like, well, you can't do that, but actually, it's just easier. It's cleared me for the approach, which means I think it's differing on different regions, but I think it means now I can just carry on in. $1,400. Oh, got a bit overzealous there with the flap selection. Flap 2. 180. Let's go to terrain mode because weather's not doing anything, but at least then we can see what we're doing.
Toronto approach, good morning, Charlie Foxtrot, Echo Sierra Alpha.
Charlie Fox, Echo Sierra Alpha, Toronto Center, get Asian Monkey.
Speed's coming off.
Again for Echo Sierra Alpha.
Charlie Fox, Echo Sierra Alpha, 1159, 700. Do you have the weather in St. Thomas?
We've got the London weather, if you've got something a little better, but we're using London at this time for St. Thomas.
Alright, London's best, I've got even approach request to St. Thomas.
We are going to request and currently have programmed direct XZIPA or ADZIPA for the RNAV runway 09, the initial.
Fox Echo Sierra Alpha, you expect the St. Thomas RNAV runway 09 DX XZIPA. XZIPA descend.
Flat 5.
Okay, 5,000 direct XZIPA and expect the RNAV runway 09 for St. Thomas. Echo Sierra Alpha.
Looks cool. Oh, the call outs, that's just me saying flat 5. Get engine transfer back on. Do one final recall. Just easier for me to see everything in the one screen this time. Dear. Level at 3. Oops, sorry. 185, 180.
2472, turn left direct, up off.
3000, then we're going to try and trigger the IAN. outer fixed ring there is for 8 miles. Runway 08 in 6.8. So we're actually about 2,000 feet above ground level at the moment. So we're going to go wings level, approach mode. I'm going to select flap 10 now, so it's one less stage to worry about later. And we have selected flap 30 for the approach. We'll see how we get on. I might get rid of the hood in a moment. It looks well snowy. Get down, flap 15. Come on. There's the IAN. Let's go flap 30. Wings level, approach.
100 at 11, clear to land runway
FAC.
08.
Direct clear land, Flair 403. Single channel, flap, glide paths active.
225, be up button, clear the Waterloo RNAV, Zulu runway.
Crosswind at the moment, and a tailwind. We're being pushed that way. Not ideal. 160, 141, 146.
I'm trying to approach Echo Sierra Alpha.
3 miles. Oh my goodness.
I just got to jump away quickly to dog, so I'll be right back.
Sure, report back.
4,000. .075, overhead panels set, checked, that's good. Speed brakes armed, flaps 30 green, gear down 3 green. And ignition mode selector switches to continuous. Let's get rid of that because it's in the way, it's getting a bit distracting. Speed's coming down to 146, so we've got snow and a crosswind of 9 knots. We've got VREF plus 5, approach lights are ahead. And we're good. You can do it! Cheers, Jack.
1,000.
So you can see the IAN system here. It's given us. It looks like an ILS, but it's not. It's actually giving us like as if it's an ILS, but it's the non-precision RNAV approach that we are flying at the moment. It's using the data from the FMS to feed it in. Can't see the runway.
Approaching 08.
There's the VRAS. So we know now because it's called it out. We're flying in the right way. We're getting very unstable weather, so I'm just going to give us a little bit to 150, just boost that speed a little bit. If that headwind drops now to 5 knots, all of a sudden we'll be doing 146, which is what we want for approach. Okay, there's the runway. My controls, autopilot and auto throttle.
400.
2 clicks. Oh, a little bit of a boost of power too much there. 2 clicks for the auto throttle.
Approaching minimums.
This hand flies so nicely.
Minimum flaps. 200. Too low flaps. 100. 50.
Got an issue with my flaps there. Positive rate, gear up. And Flair 403 going around unstable.
Flair 403, roger. Fly runway heading climb 4,000.
Fly runway heading, climb 4,000, Flair 403.
And trying to approach Echo Sierra Alpha is back.
Sierra Alpha, roger, back.
Nothing. Come on, Lukey, focus, focus. Trying to solve the auto throttle issue there.
403, do you want to come back around for another 1050 RNAV?
AFM. Yeah, it looked good other than the flaps.
225, the Waterloo winds 100 at 11, clear to land runway 08.
08 Lieutenant, Flair
2500.
Too much going on here for one pilot. For some reason I can't get auto thrust. Ah, there we go. Doofus. VNAV.
2472. Yeah, up on
nav.
the Waterloo RNF to the runway 08 approach.
Oh, I've bust that.
I've up bid for the ILS runway.
Well, this is weird.
For the RNF Zulu for runway 08 for let's get
I'm pushing forwards and it's basically just zoomed me right up. That trim. It's MCAS, it's coming to get me.
403, turn left heading 340.
Left 340, Flair 403. Okay, right, looks like it's stabilising itself now a little bit there. What a mess. I also forgot anti-ice. Told you it's been a while since I've done a missed approach in a 7.3. What do we got? Fuel 2.3, so we've got 500 kilos till reserves.
Foxtrot, go Sierra Alpha descent 3000.
3000 Echo Sierra Alpha.
Departure arrivals, KF, RNAV 08, upVOT, execute. So we need to rebox the approach. With that as well, I'm going to need to pop in the new approach information. Yeah, we'll run with that. That'll be fine.
Fox Echo Sierra Alpha.
Chris, since the newest update, moving the throttle Bravo, which is what I've got forwards, also sets toga thrust. It's caught him out big time.
Alright, via exit button.
It's because I kept buggering it, I kept trying to click that, and that was then confusing me, so I started then compounding all my mistakes, but actually it was just a scroll wheel flick up. That's what I needed to do.
Fox Echo Sierra Alpha, that's my bad, that's uncontrolled. Echo Sierra Alpha via the clear to control airspace via the St.
Need a left turn already.
Runway 09, exit the train.
Pressure panel looks good still, that's
Alright,
fine.
we're cleared out of controlled airspace for unapproach, St. Thomas, Echo Sierra Alpha.
And Echo Sierra Alpha, you can monitor local frequency reports the
terrain ahead, 1700, okay, so we're clear.
We're over with radio, and we'll give you a call down and clear the active. Echo Sierra Alpha.
Beautiful sounds though for the mist. No, not this speed, Andrew. Just, I mean, we're maintaining about 3.5 degrees nose up. That's fine. 3.5 degrees nose up. That's quite normal. We're doing 230 knots still.
403, turn left direct, upVOT.
Left direct upVOT, Flair 403.
There's 225 out in the Waterloo, exit right, go main terminal.
Main terminal 54, Flair to the left.
225, taxi Alpha,
execute, LNAV.
Taxi Alpha, go straight to 4 Flair to 5, thanks.
Right, so I need to cross-reference flap 25 then, because my flap 30 on my honeycomb seems to be flap 40, and then flap where I go up a notch to flap 25, it's like it's trying to decide between flap 30 and flap 25. So I just need to keep an eye on that. Rearm the speed brake. One more go at this before we're into reserve fuel. I was going to just still commit and just send it, get it on the ground. I just thought I'm still faffing around with flaps with like 100 foot to go. It's just, my brain's not in the, you know, it's faffing. So I just figured we'd just bin it off, go again. So what we need now is clearance again for the approach. It's very windy, very slippery. It's a tailwind on approach, isn't it? And then all of a sudden it switches to a crosswind and a headwind, and those gusts really kick in.
2472, the Waterloo winds 100 at 11, clear to land runway 08.
That'll be Ian.
Land runway 08. Well, let's get 2476.
Yeah, exactly. Leroy!
403, the upright cleared the Waterloo RNAV, Zulu runway 08 approach.
Clear up, Volt cleared RP 08 approach. There's 403. $10 miles, 12 volt. I'll keep the speed at 230 for now. I'll just keep us at 4,000 until we get a bit closer. It's quite a tight approach as well. Couple of miles to go. Let's just start a gentle descent and bring it down to minimum clean. Going to pop those back onto continuous. Might as well whack the logo outline as well. Taxi light, auto, why not? It's one less thing to click, isn't it? Lights, signs. Make sure they're in the seats. 500 foot per minute is nice and easy.
$2,500.
We should get the VRAS call out again. Approaching 08. Just to confirm to us audibly that we are lined up with the correct runway. It's a really cool system. Anti-ice systems are still on. I'll leave them on for now. And then short final I'll try and click them off if I remind myself correctly. Hopefully I do. Visibility's crazy. Look at that on the nose. Right. LNAV, VNAV. Down to 3. We're not on VNAV at the moment though, we will sort that. 210 looks good. Flaps 2. It was max 210, so let's bring it to 200. Transit. Let's get that back up. 64.3, 141. Let's rebox our final approach speeds.
That's 2472, welcome to Waterloo, it's right able.
Altitude.
You want to main terminal?
Affirmative, yeah, we'll go to main terminal there for lessons.
Let's go for 180 again, flap 5.
You can exit at the end and continue Alpha cross.
And this time,
Continue on Alpha and cross.
be a bit better at moving this around. $5 nose up, that's fine. What are we? Flap 5. Let's go for flap 10. I'm going to come in a bit slower this time. VNAV, LNAV for the intercepts. It's only 5, just getting ahead of myself again. Cheers MPS. The thing is, I could have absolutely got that on the ground quite smoothly, I think, but it just wasn't worth taking the punts, I don't think. Let's go gear down, lap 15 early. 3 green. Speed brakes armed. Reserve fuel. We're going to get a couple of warnings there for reset MCP altitude. Strobe steady, that's all good. Right signs. Anti-ice is still on, don't let me forget. So start slowing it down properly. Approach. 141. 146, we'll see how the speed stabilises. Flap 30, it's good. And green. Back, glide path.
Flight 403, the Waterloo wind.
I'm going to put my flap effector on.
Land runway 08.
Direct clear land flare 403, thanks. On the glides, so we can reset this to 4. Quick set of checks. That's all good. Auto brake 2 for a reminder. Flap 30 and green. Don't touch anything, Luke. Get rid of the terrain map as well. We can see the ground for reference. Visibility looks like it's got slightly worse. Either way, I'm getting her in. You have my word. It's either going to be a win or an F in chat.
Toronto Terminal West Jet 212 is good.
1,000.
Jet 212 Toronto Center, good day, you're clear to the Vancouver International Airport. The London to departure, flight plan route.
There's the sideways wind, snow.
Approaching 0.
No weather indication for wind. There's that VRAS 08's confirmed. Water throttle is mine.
212, the readback is correct. Push and starts to your discretion. Calming tank. Thank you all.
My controls.
500.
Got a bit of time to sort this out because I've just buggered the speed a bit there.
Center, Charlie Fox Echo Sierra.
And there goes the wind kicking in again.
Foxtrot Echo Sierra Alpha. Your IFR flight plan is.
Told you guys this would be a spicy one.
300. Approaching minimum.
Keeping the speed up because of the gusts. Well, hey.
Minimum.
Continue.
200.
Trusting my eye, not
100.
the pappies. Well, hey.
50. 40.
Got boost of power.
30. 20. 10.
Okay, reverse. Green. Manual brakes. 167 foot per minute. What are you saying? Easy. 1.12 G, 167 foot per minute. Let's get rid of that. Get rid of the flaps. And you know what I forgot after all of that? Anti-ice. Oh dear. Love that noise of the brakes.
Welcome to Waterloo, exit right, Foxtrot, then continue Alpha across 32.
Exit right, taxi Foxtrot Alpha cross 32, Flair 403. Wait for the APU blue light. It was good fun. Welcome to Astralis Studios Waterloo Kitchener for Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 and 2024. First time looking at that. Air conditioning, master caution. APU, let's get it fired up. And the flight directors can come off. Auto brake off. Oh my goodness, look at all that snow again already around the edge of that wing, the engine. Strobes, chopping egg. I can't remember what the SOP is for a jet fighter, to be honest. There's the VOR on the left. That's the first time I've ever done an IAN approach in one of these as well. That's quite good to do. Pop that off, and the FPV. That's all off. Landing lights. We're told we can put me words back in my mouth. We can cross this. But we're just gonna have a quick look into the approach path anyway. Put the old strobes on.
Approaching. 3, 2.
Jack Kershaw, thanks for subscribing, mate. Welcome on board. There's the windsock now, look, it's a tailwind all of a sudden. Crikey. Crazy weather. Right, what gates do we have available? Let's see. Domestic arrivals. Probably want that one then, don't we? Yeah. That's going to be gate number 4. 1, 2, 3 here. No GSX profile for this though. So it's all going to be automatically generated. Let's get that light off. That's on steady. Wing lights can come off as well because they're just not going to be useful for us anymore. Covered in snow. Keep her rolling. We'll see what score we got. I'm probably going to get a deduction in the score because we had that unstable approach and I was misconfigured on short final at flat 25. It gave us that as a warning, didn't it, with the VRAS flaps. That's what actually drew my attention to it, which is proper cool. If we hadn't have had that, we wouldn't have known. We'd have landed with flap 25. I mean, we could, but we weren't properly sorted for it performance-wise. Right, let's get rid of those. Leave them, that's all good, that's set. Anti-collision lights. Doors. That'll be automatically done. Ground support. Chocks. Set. GSX. Deboarding. Right, let's have a look outside, shall we? I wonder if I turn the transponder off. I think I did earlier. Okay, no, I had it on standby. That's fine. Yeah, super windy. Look at this. Bit of snow, bit of ice. Mega cold, minus numbers. Fantastic nav light reflection off the tarmac there. And the engine's just spinning away quite merrily. Looks like we're disembarking from the rear doors, bizarrely. Oh well. Yeah, well, this is literally the airport. This is all there is to it. Quite a generic looking basic airport, doesn't it? It's in the summer looks really nice, but in the winter it looks a little bit blander. Oh, there we go. We've got forward doors there as well. You know what we need to do? Disarm the doors. System page. Sim menu. Doors. Happy days. And ordinarily they would just walk in there. Let's have a little look at New Sky then, see what we've got for a final score of the day. Great effort by everybody indeed. 11.096, a little bit of profit. Got a 10 as well actually, so that go around saved me. There's the go around. Fought with it, managed to maintain what you call it though. Runway heading nicely enough. Then we got vectored up and out for a little bit. Work back in for another go. So yeah, not too bad. Bit sloppy though on the altitude bits, but I'm happy with that. Having been the second time in about 8 months that we've flown the 737. There's the Navigraph charts with that multiplayer thing. IVAO as well for those of you who use that. But it feeds that in nicely. And approach Flair 403's parked up. Thanks to the ATC, have a good evening.
Thanks, bye. I think that was 2 people at the same time. I think that was Alaska saying have a good one, thanks, flying. And was jet 212, I'm assuming ready for taxi, runway 15, information pop.
Oh, you didn't hear me.
003, taxi,
I'll say it again.
cross 09.
What do you guys think of the scenery? You have to let us know. It was Flair 403's reporting parked on stand. Thanks to the ATC. Have a good evening.
Alright, thanks for flying. Have a good.
Oh, the textures there are quite low resolution, aren't they?
Did you call?
And the brick isn't 3D. It's just like a flat texture, which is a little bit disappointing. With the newer sim, it should certainly be a little bit
3003, taxi, golf, cross 09.
better quality. I'm not sure what the I can't remember what the price is now for this. It is linked in the description down below if you did want to purchase it. It's a nice little regional airport, but yeah, the textures leave a little bit to be desired. I don't think there's an internal. It would be nice to have seen the developer give us a GSX profile for this as well, bearing in mind it's a small airport with a few stands. Let's just pop in here. I'm pretty certain there's no internals. I'll just smash all the way through the buildings. No. None in internationals. We'll check domestics. Yeah, that should be a bit higher res as well. Look at that. €15 MPS gaming. Tad on the expensive side, dare I say, given the quality. It should be a bit better than that. Yeah, $9.99, £8, £9, £10, €12, €15. Yeah, about €10 to €12 I think would be the fairer price. Apron textures though are quite nice. It's got the restricted area texturing and all that kind of stuff. This element of it is quite nice. What else have they got? Cafes. I mean, they're all just generic looking buildings, aren't they? Nice little cafe down there though. Just spotted the This is a first look for me. It's properly a first little look around. Nice to see the cafe with the little chairs there, though. And the flying club. For those of you who look at like a little bit of general aviation, here's your parking spots. Good approach lighting, and in this low weather, low visibility, that's probably what saved us a bit on the approach there because of how low that visibility was. I'm curious to know whether or not those windsocks are the wrong way around. I feel like they might be. Let's have a look at these runway textures a bit closer, shall we? Yes, Swedish krona, everything's super expensive for you folks. It's a real shame. The runway textures look quite good. Oops. There's not much else. Got all the little aprons that bop off around those little hangars over there. That's all part of Kitchener. And you've got the control tower. I'll whiz over there because I'm curious to know if there's an interior to that. Just as the visibility starts to drop a bit more. F Canada. Doesn't look like there's an interior here either. No. That's a shame. Great location, great airport, tricky conditions, amazing surroundings, some low resolution textures and some generic looking buildings that kind of let it down. But yeah, like MPS says, it's way, way, way better than the default airport. And the way they've done the snow cover is pretty good as well actually, and the apron textures are very nice. And they're more important than the kind of extra tidbits, aren't they? Like the landside areas and all that sort of stuff. All of this is apron area. Different flying clubs dotted around. But again, like low resolution texturing. Could be a bit better. Especially this day and age. They're pretty cool. Kind of electricity transformer pylon things. Oh, negative. Tri-City Aero. A couple of little stop signs and things as well. What else have we got? Just having a little mooch at this point. Some of the buildings like these are just very generic. They're very beige, very grey, very vanilla. So we kind of just whiz around. Okay, so that's going to be the edge. Follow the heavy. Be nice to see that flag waving. We've seen that in a few sceneries before in the past. It's crazy because that's got a much better resolution on that.
Jet 212 report airborne winds 110 at 12, got 17, clear for takeoff, runway 15.
Report airborne, clear for takeoff on
And then there's that hard edge there, that's a bit sloppy. Then I suppose this bit here is like the default generated road that MSFS puts in. Oh wow, look at this. I'd not noticed the river. That goes right past the runway as well. I didn't even see it on approach because I was so focused. Whoops. Chart right. There's a whole load of bits over here look like they've been added in as well. Probably was used as a marketing screenshot. That building there is underneath the snow. I think these look like generic built like default buildings though. These bits don't. It's not terrible, is it? But it doesn't blow your mind. There's a weird texture issue there with the grass. See what happens when we get closer. It might pop and close. Nope. There's a little bit of work to do there on that. This runway here with a different texture looks pretty good as well. So yeah, runway and taxiway and apron textures look really nice. Could do with a bit of more finesse of the kind of rough edges around the terminal areas and things. That would be probably a bit nicer. But from a kind of wider view like this, it looks really good. It's when you get closer up. Yeah, I think out of 5, 2 or 3 out of 5 probably would be reasonable. I think for a score. What do you guys think? Because they've done some nice bits. I mean, this is the thing, right? They've added a ski data car park thing, but then they've done low resolution textures on the terminal and 2D brickwork. I think the brickwork should be 3D. That needs a bit more finesse. And the textures could do with a bit of improvement. Yeah, but yeah, from a kind of a distance like this, it looks bang on the head, on the money, doesn't it? It looks really nice, but it's just when you get closer in, they've kind of let it slip somewhat. But yeah, I think 2.5 or 3 out of 5, 2.5 out of 5 or 3.5. Yeah, 2.5 to 3 out of 5. I think more than reasonable, isn't it? Not terrible though. Certainly a hell of a lot better than default, and bits around the apron are quite nice. But yeah, 3 out of 5, probably quite reasonable. But there we go. Halifax version 2 to Waterloo, or region of Waterloo International Airport, Kitchener, in Canada, with that Flair iFly 737 MAX8 for MSFS 2020. I hope you've enjoyed it. A massive thank you to Jack for that huge tip earlier on. Supremely generous of you. Really appreciate all the support, mate.
Center West 212.
And a massive thank you to our VATCAN colleagues who have been providing some great air traffic control for today as well. And all of you guys who flew along, I hope you've enjoyed the route. MPS, Ian, and all the others. Hope you guys enjoyed the route as well. So yeah, massive thank you. Don't forget 1800 Zulu. So 1 hour from now is the start of West Coast Madness with VATCAN, one of the biggest events of the calendar, and they're going to be running until 6 AM Zulu UK time from 1800 Zulu tonight, with full ATC across Vancouver and that side of Canada. So if you want to fly somewhere tonight, head over there, join them on VATSIM, be in with a chance to win a whole load of prizes like Navigraph Ultimate for a year, and Orbex and Contrail gift cards, Orbex sceneries, all that sort of stuff. So definitely go check that out. But in the meantime, as always, hit like, hit subscribe if you've not done so already. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the flight today, along with the mistakes and the go around and the subsequent touchdown. But thank you very much for flying along. See you next time. Take care.